Two of the very best teams in the Mountain West will duke it out in another cold December classic. Every moment and every road has led us back to Boise State, Idaho. With everything on the line, it's the Mountain West Championship game between the UNLV Rebels and the Boise State Broncos. Happy holidays and welcome inside the broadcast booth. Wyatt Touchet here from Albertsons Stadium. An electric crowd here in Boise, Idaho, ready for the Mountain West Championship game. It's the fifth matchup in just the 25 months since December 2nd of 2023, and this is just the third time between two FBS teams that have played one another in a conference championship game in 3 straight seasons. For the Boise State Broncos, they are back-to-back Mountain West champions, looking to three-peat for the first time in Mountain West history, and in the process would claim their 6th Mountain West title since joining the conference in 2011. Now their foes on the other side for the UNLV Rebels, they have had a historic season under head coach Dan Mullen with his first year with the program, and practically a brand new team with only 2 returning starters in Jet Thomas and Marcel McDuffie. The Rebels began 6-0 for the first time since 1974, but haven't won a game versus Boise State since November 8th of 1976. So they are on their mission to get their first ever win on the road against Boise here at Albertsons Stadium. And a win tonight would be UNLV's first Mountain West title and first conference title since 1994. And we take a look at both teams coming into this game all season long. They have been tearing it up in the Mountain West. For the offensive side, the Rebels have one of the best scoring offenses in the conference, number 1 in scoring 37 points a game, number 1 in yards per game, over 460, and then in first downs, they are moving the chains and moving the ball down the field, almost 24 first downs a game. You take a look at the other side, right behind them, the Boise State Broncos, 3rd scoring offense in the Mountain West, just over 30 points a game, and the offense has just been grooving down the stretch. And it's been absolutely fascinating to see as we look down onto the field. The coin toss is commencing for the Rebels. Their captains, Marcel McDuffie and Reed Williams. We got the hammer out on the field for the Broncos. And coming back in this game, a lot of questions, but it was answered earlier this week. Maddox Matson will be starting for the Boise State Broncos. They do win the toss, and so Boise State will defer, and the Rebels will start off with the ball, and they'll be receiving on the near side end zone from the broadcast booth. An exciting one here for the Mountain West Championship game as we further progress, taking a look at the rankings in the Mountain West for both squads. Going to the defensive end now. The Rebels have struggled all season long, but as of late, the last 4 games, ever since they lost back-to-back games, first against Boise State on the road here at Albertsons Stadium back in October, and then another one, a heartbreaker at home at Allegiant Stadium against the New Mexico Lobos. Ever since then, this defense has cleaned it up. They've been allowing only under 16 points per game for opposing offenses, and this team has been able to put it together, led by defensive coordinator Paul Gunther. And now with that being said, the crowd here in Boise, Idaho is absolutely on fire. Going into today, there was some concern about some sellout crowds, around 86% of this crowd being sold out, and they're slowly packing this one in. But the atmosphere of a championship game is absolutely present and here. And just taking a quick look at the starters for both sides, the quarterbacks, Anthony Calandria, the Mountain West Player of the Year. He is the first UNLV player to be named the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year in Mountain West history for the Rebels, but he's the first Rebel quarterback to earn such honors since the College Football Hall of Famer Randall Cunningham, both in 1983 and 84, won it in the Big West Conference. And for Maddox Matson, he is just an absolute machine. This kid, as Coach Spencer Danielson says, he's our starting QB. His leadership, decision-making, and the throws he makes when they need him, the playmaking ability, he's our starting quarterback, and we're going to see that here. But first, the opening kickoff is going to go into the back of the end zone. So the Rebels of UNLV will start with the ball first. And leading them is Anthony Calandria on this season. over 3,000 passing yards, over 500 rushing yards, 30 total touchdowns, 22 of those coming through the air. Anthony Calandria, the transfer from Virginia, his first season with the Scarlet and Gray, has been absolutely tearing it up. And for the Rebels, when they score first in a game, they are 6-0 this season, and they start off at their own 25. Little pre-snap motion here, shotgun formation. 1st and 10, Calandria, handoff to Thomas. Met in the backfield and tackled for a loss. That's Steege with a loss of 4 on 1st down for the Rebels. And that shows exactly why this defensive side is going to be so important. When you take a look at Max Steege, the junior, spent his entire career at Boise State, able to just blow out that play from jump, read it like a book, and able to get back there fast. 20 total tackles on the season. That's his 6th tackle for loss, and it's a loss of 4 for the Rebels. 2nd and 14. Trips left here, shotgun formation for the Rebels in this Mountain West Championship game. Calandria drops back, open lane, up ahead. He's going to get the 1st down, a little bit more, cuts back in, and slides near the 47. And so a 26-yard pickup from Anthony Calandria, who has been a vital part of this offense all season long. All season long. Calandria is just so wise. He's such a great decision maker. Seeing the pocket collapse, no one's open, and able to capitalize with his legs. So now 1st and 10, ball at their own 45-yard line. Calandria, shotgun handoff, Thomas up the middle, met near the line of scrimmage, unable to find much success. Might have gotten a yard of 1. The gain there, tackled by Washington. Zion Washington, the redshirt sophomore from Frisco, Texas, able to meet him inside that B gap and just bring him back. And so this Boise State defense so far in the run game is going to be very heavy in the box. They do not want a guy like Jet Thomas to get loose. So it's 2nd and 9 after the gain of 1 from Thomas. Shotgun formation. Calandria drops back, pressure off the edge, and a pre-snap penalty. The play is blown dead. So we're going to wait on the officiating crew down here, and it looks like, and it will be, a false start on the Rebels. And so replay 2nd down. So instead of 2nd and 9, they'll back it up 5 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 14. And already this crowd here in Boise making the impact that they are looking to have all game long. Under head coach Spencer Danielson, they have sold out every single home game for the Broncos. And so now the crowd here loud in the championship game. 2nd and 14, just under 13 minutes of play. Thomas, handoff, trying to find some space, patiently running, only gets a gain of 2, and is brought down at the UNLV 43. And so now after that run, it's now 3rd and long, and this is exactly what you want if you're Boise State. This defensive coordinator, Eric Shenander, 23 years of coaching experience. He's been with Boise State since 2023. Start off as his assistant head coach, defensive line coach, and the defensive run coordinator, and you're seeing that experience and that focus on the run game here. And it's a 3rd and long for the Rebels. Calandria drops back, looking far side. The in route is caught inside Boise State territory. Has not been brought down. Ball's loose on the ground. And it's recovered by Benefield. And it's Boise State ball. A fumble there by UNLV, caught across the middle. And the Broncos will take over near the 41. A costly turnover in the beginning of this game. Caught by Jaden Bradley as he was being brought down by Bowen Phelps. He jars the ball loose. And that's his first forced fumble of the game. And so this Boise State offense led by Maddox Madsen this season. He missed the last 3 games of the regular season, just under 2,000 passing yards, and they are in the I formation under center. Handoff, Dylan Riley up the middle and brought down at the 45 for a gain of 4. And Dylan Riley has been absolutely stellar all year long. Over 1,000 yards on the ground. The 2025 All-Mountain West second team. And he gets the carry there, just open gap right up the middle. Able to get a couple chunk yardage there. 10 touchdowns on the season. And he's averaging just over 6 yards per carry. And so now sets up 2nd and 6 for the Broncos at their own 45. Shotgun formation across the middle, intended for Penry, unable to connect. And the first pass for Madsen is an incompletion. That's going to be a connection that they're going to be looking for during this game. He has been able to pick it up, as in Penry, and this is part of the concern bringing in Madsen in this game. He is the veteran. Coach has all the trust and confidence in him. The ball was there. Penry just has to come down with it. Better focus. It's now 3rd and 6. The Rebels below 30% holding the offensive side on 3rd down, and they do catch by Lauder. Tackle there by Pope Jr. And Boise State unable to convert on 3rd down after a gain of 2. And so the punting unit will come out. This defense all season long, their best point of attack has been getting teams off the field on 3rd down. The ball is just a little bit behind Lauder there, but Pope in coverage and able to bring Lauder down. UNLV ranks 8th nationally, best in the Mountain West in 3rd down conversions, only 29.4% of the time. And they get off the field here. So both offensive sides unable to convert anything into points. And a fake here, potentially no. Just kind of testing the waters. Punts that one deep near the 10. And the punt there by Oscar Doyle. It looked like he was running to the right side to try to pick up the 1st down, but then saw the defense creep up on him, so he punts that one, and it'll be spotted at the 11. And so we'll go to our first media timeout here on Rebel Sportsnet. Welcome back inside Albertsons Stadium here for the Mountain West Championship game between the Boise State Broncos and the UNLV Rebels. The Broncos hosting this one in Boise, Idaho. So far through this game, only 10:41 remaining in the first quarter. Scoreless so far. Let's take a look at this history between these two teams. It's the 16th all-time meeting. Boise State leads 12-3 over UNLV. The last game UNLV beat Boise dates back all the way to November 8th of 1976. It was back in Las Vegas. They won that one 31-26. UNLV has been to Boise 7 times and has come in empty-handed each time. They have not been able to get a win on the road at Boise on this blue Smurf turf. And the largest margins of victory for Boise State was by 31 and 77 and by UNLV 5 in that 76 matchup. And so the Rebels coming out onto the field in their 5th matchup in the last 25 months. Start off the offensive possession, their 2nd one of the game, 2nd drive at their own 11. 1st and 10, shotgun formation. Calandra drops back, fires, gonna go deep. This one just overthrows Caden McGee across the middle, unable to connect Irby in coverage. And you take a look at it here, they're backed up at their own 11. They're going for a deep shot. Just neck and neck, Irby right on his hip. And Calandra would have had to drop that in the basket if he wanted that one. And it's just an incomplete pass. The aggressiveness here from this Rebel offense and Corey Dennis facilitating it for the Rebels. Now 2nd and 10. Ball at their own 11. Shotgun, handoff, lead to the left side, breaking a tackle, trying to get somewhere, unable to do so. Maybe gets a yard and is brought down by Notriani. Notriani this season, 63 total tackles, 42 solo. The redshirt senior from San Diego, California, with a great wrap up there, only allowing 1 yard gain. And now it's another 3rd down for UNLV. This time a 3rd and 9. 5 minutes have passed here in the first quarter, 10 minutes to go. Calandria shotgun formation. And whistles blow once again, and flags fly. A pre-snap penalty. The first one was on UNLV. And so will the second one. Another false start penalty on this Rebel offense. They're the most penalized team in the Mountain West, averaging 68 yards per game in penalties. And it's been one of those things, as you take a look at this team, they are very new, only 2 returners. And you would think by now they'd be able to clean it up and have that chemistry. But it is loud here at Albertsons Stadium. It's 3rd and 14. Ball at their own 7. Backed up. Heels on their own 1. Calandria shotgun formation. Looking near sideline. Has a step. Bradley just overthrows him and just outside. Unable to connect the second overthrown ball from Calandria. And it's a quick 3 and out here for the Rebels. In coverage that time, Benefield, the 2025 All-Mountain West first team defender in the area. And with that being said, this defense is stepping up early here for Boise State. A lot of teams have struggled all season long to contain this Rebel offense, and they've been able to do so in 2 current drives. Cam Brown punts that one back, and it's muffled but retained by Sherrod. And so that fair catch will put the Boise State offense at their own 49 near midfield. So we're going to step aside. Scoreless game at 0. 9:28 remains here in the first quarter. Thanks for sticking with us here on Rebel Sports Net. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth here at Albertsons Stadium. A scoreless game here in the Mountain West Championship game between the Boise State Broncos and the UNLV Rebels. Wyatt Touchet here on the call. Let's take a look at the coach's corner. First off with the Rebels, Dan Mullen in his first season at UNLV. He led the Rebels to their first 6-0 start since 1974, and their 3rd straight season being bowl eligible. That's a program first. Now this is the only 10-win team in the Mountain West, which is the 4th time that UNLV has won 10 games or more in a season. And with that being said, this is the Mountain West Championship berth and game that they are playing in, with only 2 returning starters from last season being Jet Thomas and Marcel McDuffie. A lot of transfers and a completely new staff as well. An impressive start under head coach Dan Mullen in his first season with the Scarlet Gray. Now on the other side, Spencer Danielson. Since November 18th of 2023, when he was announced as the interim head coach to finish off that season, he has brought this team and program to back-to-back Mountain West titles in 23 and 24, and they have an opportunity here to three-peat. He was the 2024 Mountain West Coach of the Year. It's his first year as the head coach, and it's the only time that it's happened since Chris Peterson, who's the only other Bronco head coach to do so. He's the 5th coach in program history to win at least 20 of his first 25 games as a head coach. And among active FBS head coaches, Danielson is 9th best in winning percentage at 76.7% with at least one season under his belt. So now 1st and 10 at their own 49. Play action. Matson, far sideline, caught at the 35. And a big pickup there by Latrell Caples, the 6th year from Lancaster, Texas. This season, 515 yards, leads the team in receiving yards and receptions, and 43 receptions on this regular season, including 3 touchdowns. He's able to get outside, get a step in that secondary on Jaheim Joseph. So they're now inside UNLV territory for the first time tonight. Whistles blow dead before the snap happens. We'll go down to the field. And they're going to review if that was a catch by Caples. And so we're going to step aside here after the review. We'll have more on the other side here on Rebel Sports Net. Just less than 9 minutes ago, scoreless game in the Mountain West Championship game. Only here on Rebel Sports Net. Welcome back here on Rebel Sports Net. You're listening to UNLV football here from Albertsons Stadium, Touchet in the broadcast booth. After further review, the ball did not survive the ground. Cable's unable to hold on to it and go through the entire catch process. So this offense will back up after the drop on first down, making it 2nd and 10. Ball at their own 49. And the Rebels with a big break there. That would have been a momentous opportunity for the Broncos offense to potentially get some points up on the board. And so now Matson, shotgun formation. Motion man, pressure up front, and brought down for a sack. A loss there of about 7. And the Rebel defensive line getting in the backfield. This defensive line has been able to generate a lot of pressure throughout this season, especially as of late. And the sack credit to Lucas Conti. He only had a sack and a half coming into this game, and he gets one of his own there. Just able to utilize his quick feet, quick hands, get off the offensive line on that right side. Mason Randolph and Roger Carrion, both guys selected in all Mountain West honors. One an honorable mention and the other the first team. Great work there by Conti. Across the middle this time. Caught Penry at the 45 inside UNLV territory. Far sideline inside the 20 and brought down at the 13. A huge third down conversion. Chase Penry, the redshirt senior who transferred from Colorado to join Boise State in 2023, is getting his opportunity in this Mountain West Championship game. Great time there for Matson to be able to deliver. And that just goes to show the offensive line being able to quickly flush that last play. You gave up a sack, but they make up for it, giving him time, and Matson able to work. Under center here, Matson, I formation, 1st and 10 at the UNLV 12. Running it to the left side for a gain of about 3 or 4. Sire gains for the first time today. Brought down at the 10, so a gain of 2. So 7:20 remains scoreless here, but the Broncos in the red zone for the first time today. And so far through this season, they've been able to convert 67% of the time, touchdown rate in the red zone. Ball spotted at the 10-yard line. Gaines able to get outside, undercut there near the 10. So empty formation here, trips right for the Broncos on the offensive side. Gaines the motion man back to Matson's right hip. Shotgun formation, less than 7 minutes to go. Capel's now in motion. Matson drops back, looking, surveys the field, pressure, rolls out right, pump fakes, trying to go for the pylon inside the 5, diving effort, he's in, touchdown Broncos! And in his return game, after missing 3 down the stretch, Maddox Matson returns to prime form for the 10-yard run. And it's a touchdown. The Boise State Broncos on the board first in the Mountain West Championship game. And that's just greatness right there by Matson. All season long, we've seen him been able to make plays. He doesn't use his legs as much as Anthony Calandria, only 70 rushing yards in this season coming into this one, but he's able to use it there and get his 4th rushing touchdown of this season. PAT is up and in by the leg of Colton Boomer. And so the Broncos lead early, 7-0, 6:40 remaining here in the first quarter. You're listening to UNLV football here on Rebel Sports Net. Five plays, 51 yards, and just 2 minutes and 48 seconds of time of possession. And the Boise State Broncos punch the ball in first in the Mountain West Championship game. And it comes by the way of their leader and starting quarterback, Maddox Matson, who missed the last 3 games of this season. So the Broncos lead 7-0 here. 6:40 remains in the first quarter here at Albertsons Stadium. Live on Rebel Sports Net. Wyatt Touchet here in the broadcast booth. Matson coming into this week, a lot of people question how ready and how available this kid would be. head coach Spencer Danielson had emphasized he didn't want this week to be about who's going to be the starting quarterback. Is it Madsen? Is it Cutforth? Both guys very viable options. He wanted it to be about the team and getting the job done, and that's what Maddox Madsen did on that on that drive there. And he just showed off his athleticism for what it's worth and a 10-yard run. So now the kicking unit deep back for the Rebels. Bradley catches this one at the 2, and he's going to return it to the right side. Tried to break a tackle at the 20. Carries a man a little bit more and brought down at the 24. And so this UNLV offense, who struggled inconsistently throughout this season, it's been very stagnant from game to game, depending on how they're feeling, what's going on. And so far, this may be one that Rebel fans and Rebel Nation look at, and they're screaming at the television, screaming at the radio. Got to pick it up. 6:34, ball at their own 24-yard line. Moore, the motion man to the right side. Calandria, shotgun, drops back, looking. The seam to Lyons, incomplete pass. And good covers there by Mickey. Denying that one, Jaden Mickey, the redshirt junior from Notre Dame, transferred this season from the Fighting Irish. So far, going into this game, 28 total tackles, 23 solo, and 4 pass deflections. Did not need to get his head around. Just Tayshawn Lyons unable to come down with it. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10. Shotgun formation, Calandria rolling out left, and another pre-snap penalty. It's going to be the 3rd false start against this UNLV offense. And this is just not the first quarter the Rebels envision in their 3rd consecutive championship game. Negative yards are going to kill you if you're the Rebels, or any team for that matter, but especially the Rebels. They've struggled with this all season long, facing with penalties, ones that you can control. And Dan Mullen's spoken all season long, and then hyper-emphasized going into this game. We just have things to clean up. And so far through this game, it just doesn't seem like the Rebels have come out like we've seen them in the last 4 games. So on 2nd and 15, Calandria drops back with time across the middle. Caught by Reynolds at the 39. And his forward progress is going to be stopped by Irby right around the 40. And a big pickup there of 21 to move the chains on 2nd down. Taking a look at the replay, just being able to have time from this offensive line led by Reed Williams, the center. All Mountain West 2nd team just announced earlier this week. He has done a phenomenal job protecting Calandria and also being a leader of that group. So Calandria, it's actually Earl, the direct snap, spinning, trying to break tackles, and it's brought down by a number of Broncos near the 42-43 line. So a handful of yardage there gained by the Rebels. And that just shows this mentality of this defense for Boise State. You're just going to swarm the ball, everybody attacking the point and being able to get there to Earl before he's able to break out and get loose. Both teams, matter of fact, have to make sure to stop the explosive plays. And we've only seen a handful, if not less than that, in this game. One comes to mind is Penry. So now 2nd and 8 after the carry by Earl for 2. Calandria is going to keep it to the left side, trying to truck a man near midfield. And it's going to be a gain of 3. And that's going to bring us a 3rd and a manageable here for the Rebel offense at midfield. Calandria with the option there with Glover. Runs to the left, outrunning Steege. Getting near the 1st down marker. That carry there was actually a gain of 7. So it's 3rd and 1. The Rebels this season converting on 3rd down. 47.9% of the time. That's the 2nd best in the Mountain West. And so a shift offensively. Lee looking like he's going to get the direct snap. He does. He's going to run it forward, patiently running, chugging his legs. And that's why you get in the weight room. And Kevon Lee picking up the 1st down for the Rebels inside Boise State territory after the gain of 2. Less than 5 minutes to go here. The Rebels still scoreless, but they are moving the chains here on this drive. And this is going to be the key for the Rebels. Establish that run game. In the first few drives, they have not been able to get anything, especially with Jet Thomas, their star running back. So far in this game, he has been held very minimally. for a loss of 1 on the ground on 3 carries. Rolling out right, Calandria delivers a strike. Jaden Bradley caught near the 33. Excuse me, that's Lions with the catch. And the pickup there for the first down inside Boise State territory. Ball spotted at the 33. So this Rebel offense finding some motion, finding some momentum, and Lions looking to get in his bag here on this drive. Boise State leads 7-0. Less than 3.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. UNLV 1st and 10 at the Bronco 33. Check down, intended for Lee. Incomplete pass in coverage is Notriani. That's almost like a coverage shack in a sense when you take a look at the defensive side. No one was open. Calandra just going through his reads. Not a lot of time. Has to get rid of the ball. And so the incompletion there, it's almost a throwaway to alleviate negative yardage. And so now that brings us 2nd down and 10. Credit there to the secondary by Boise State. They're going to be tested all game long with all these weapons from UNLV. Bradley motion to the right side. Calandria shotgun. Handoff to Lee up the middle, trying to break some tackles, trying to drag a couple men. He might have gotten a yard there. And again, this Boise State defense has been excelling on the run defensively. They're only the 8th rushing defense in the Mountain West, so below the average, allowing over 160 yards per game. But so far through tonight's matchup, they have done a fabulous job, only allowing 35 yards here in the first quarter. Less than 3 minutes to go here. 3rd and 9 for UNLV. They've only converted 1 of 3 on 3rd down today. Calandria, shotgun, fires far sideline, 1-on-1. Incomplete pass intended for Bradley. And in coverage for the Broncos. Getting a big stop there on 3rd down. And so bring on the kicking unit. Ramon Viella, his season long has been 50 yards. And it looks like it's going to be a 50-51 yarder here. And it's officially a 50-yarder. 2:40 remains. They trail by 7. And Ramon Viella, 1 of 2 from 50+. It does not have the leg. And so the Rebels will go off the field empty-handed. And Boise State with momentum going on the other side. They lead 7-0 over UNLV. 2:35 remains here in the Mountain West Championship game. You're listening to UNLV football here on Rebel Sports Net. Welcome back here to the Mountain West Championship game at Albertsons Stadium. The Boise State Broncos lead 7-0 over the UNLV Rebels. 2:35 remains as we take a look at the Mountain West honors. They were announced earlier this week. The Boise State Broncos had 8, 4 in the first team category and 4 in the second. Ty Benefield, Marion McCoy, Cage Casey, it's his second straight first team honors, and Mason Randolph for the second team for Boise State. Dylan Riley, Jeremiah Irby, Braxton Feely, and Jaden Virgin Morgan. And for the Rebels, 6, 2 of them on the first team, Anthony Calanger and Jet Thomas, and 4 in the second team, Reed Williams, Jaden Bradley, Amaris Brown, and Marcel McDuffie. On first down, going deep, caught on the far sideline near the 30, pushed out of bounds at the 23. It's caught by Cameron Bates, who's only had 14 receptions all year long, and a big explosive play on first down at their own 23, and they're now at the UNLV 23. First and 10 here, quick to the line, quick screen to the left side, cutting back outside, and a first down there for the Broncos. Going back to that previous play, caught there on that last down by Chris Marshall, able to get out in space and move. But that just shows the ability that Cameron Bates has and this offense possesses to be able to put up a big play, an explosive one at that. They were able to get 13 the last time they played UNLV of 20 yards plus in the run here up the middle for maybe a gain of 1 by Riley. Last time Boise State played UNLV here, they had 13 offensive plays of 20-plus yards, and the Broncos are the only team in the country with multiple games gaining 20-plus yards on at least 11 plays, and that was another one big there. Possession or two earlier for the Broncos. They had one for Penry, and this time it was Bates. Marshall with the previous catch on that first down play, ensuing that big play. So now second and 9, ball at the 11, and the carry there by Riley to the left side, brought down at the 9 after a gain of 2, less than a minute to go, and the Broncos lead by 7. They're in the red zone once again. Last time it was Madsen who ran it in for 10 yards. And he's going to look to make another spectacular play here in the red zone once again, 3rd down and 7. This season, they've converted 45.7% on third, which is the third best in the Mountain West. Bates in motion to the left side, shotgun formation. Madsen looking, checks it down. Riley has a lane wide open, and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos. Maddox Madsen dicing up this UNLV defense, first by his legs, and this time through the air, going through his progressions. Nothing is open but Dylan Riley in the flat, and just bad communication there by this UNLV defense. They wanted to focus on that this week. Marcel McDuffie, the captain of this game, had mentioned that at the press conference, and a complete defensive breakdown. Dylan Riley, just a simple swing around, catches that one, walks in, no one touches him, and it's a 2-score lead for the Broncos. If history is repeating itself, it's looking familiar tonight. Boise State leads 14-0 with 18 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. We're going to step aside here briefly, 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere. More on Rebel Sports Net. 5 plays, 67 yards, and 2 minutes and 17 seconds of time of possession. A 9-yard catch and run for Dylan Riley. He has been a monster all season long on the ground, and he complements it there with his second receiving touchdown of the season, giving Boise State a 2-score lead, 14-0 over UNLV in the first quarter. 18 seconds remain here in the opening frame of the Mountain West Championship game. Colin Boomer booms this one back to Bradley, who's going to fair catch this one. And so this UNLV offense gets the touchback and will start at their own 25. And the Broncos have their T-Dog grabbing the tee. And this crowd is rejoicing in that. They love them. Some of their labs out here. Focusing on this UNLV offense, they have just struggled time and time again this season to start off hot. Down the stretch, the last 4 games, they've done fairly well, being able to get to a good start. And they found themselves in holes multiple times and been able to dig themselves out of it. But in this Mountain West Championship game, can they do it once again? Calandria has to throw it away towards the direction of Jet Thomas. It goes out of bounds. In coverage there is Jaden Virgin Morgan, the second teamer all Mountain West this season. The redshirt junior from San Diego, California, in coverage on Thomas. And that play just broke down for this UNLV offense. It just looks like they're in great dysfunction, not on the same page. Something is just not clicking here for this offense. They're usually running on all cylinders. And they have 14 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. They trail by 14, 2nd and 10 at their own 25. Handoff, McGee to the right side. And brought down at the 27, 28-yard line. That is Caden McGee's 5th carry of the season. He had one for a 25-yard carry against Utah State in double overtime. And that was his only touchdown of the season, the walk-off in double OT. And he gets a little bit there for a gain of 3. And that carry by McGee will send us to the end of the first quarter. Here in the Mountain West Championship game, Boise State leads 14-0. Second quarter action on the other side. Welcome to the start of the second quarter here, the Mountain West Championship game, live from Albertsons Stadium, here live on Rebel Sports Net. Wyatt Touchet in the broadcast booth. The Broncos lead 14-0 over UNLV to begin the first frame in the first 15 minutes of play. As we take a look at the stat comparison at the end of the first quarter, total yards, Boise State 124, UNLV 92. 112 of those yards came through the air from Boise State. And for UNLV, 53 through the air and 39 on the ground. Just 12 yards rushing for Boise State, but they've been so proficient and prolific through the air. And that's a huge credit to their returner and star quarterback, Maddox Matson, who missed the last 3 games of this season. He has been 5 of 7 from the field. 112 through the air, 1 touchdown through the air, and 1 touchdown on the ground. 2 total touchdowns from Madsen, and they are on pace so far to take another Mountain West Championship title. They are looking to three-peat. As we take a look at, it's Friday night, and so the Friday night lights are bright here in Boise, Idaho. The Broncos have proven victorious time and time again in Friday games. 79% winning all-time, 50-13, winning 30 of those games at home with an impressive 90.9% win percentage at home on Fridays as well. With that being said, the Rebels are on the offensive side. They have struggled this first quarter, and it's been one that we have stressed all season long and here tonight, that this Rebel offense starts off slow. They find themselves in a hole, especially in the beginning of the season, and it seemed like it would be uncharacteristic down the stretch with the chemistry, with the momentum coming into this game. And a reminder, coming into this game, it was decided by 4 composite rankings, and these two teams are the best. And because Boise State won the head-to-head matchup in October, the Broncos got to host. So 3rd and 7 here. Across the middle, Omire caught near the 30, brought down at the 33, unable to pick up the first down. So the Rebel punting unit is going to have to take the field. Great schematically for this Rebel offense to draw up that route, but it's Washington in coverage and brings the tackle on Omire. And Omire is not an easy guy to bring down, 6'4", 210 pounds from Houston, Texas. Them Texas boys are built different, and Washington able to bring him down. The punt by Brown off the right side of his foot, bounces at the 36 and out of bounds near the 33-yard line. Not the best punt by Cam Brown, the Aussie who signed mid-year and enrolled in January, traveling all the way from Coolangatta, Australia. This season, 37 punts, averaging almost 44 yards per punt. His longest of the season was 71. That one there just didn't cut the mark for what he normally does. And so the Broncos will come out onto the field. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 33. They lead 14-0, 14-19 here. Trips right, shotgun formation. Matson, the handoff to Gaines up the middle. And it takes a number of Rebels to bring him down after a gain of 7, making it 2nd and 3, ball spotted at the 40-yard line. Sire gains this season over 700 rushing yards, almost 5 yards per carry, just over. And it took a number of Rebels, Jaheim Joseph and company, to get him down. Patterson as well. And so it's 2nd and 3 after a 7-yard carry on first down. They go back to the well. Gaines brought down at the 43. And it looks like that's going to be enough for a Boise State first down, awaiting the official marker. And he might be just short by a couple inches. We didn't see a lot of rushing attempts in the first quarter. They were prolific through the air, passing the ball for Boise State. And now we're getting a small dosage here in the beginning of the second quarter as they lead by 14. Going to try to drain as much clock as possible under center. Matson, handoff to Gaines. He picks up the first down, and it gets a couple more yards after that. A gain of 4, brought down at the 46, and they're going to move the chains once again. And this offense has looked almost unstoppable here today after a couple possessions early, not getting anywhere. They have finally broken free and have some momentum, has some rhythm on the offensive end for Boise State. And this defense, if they're going to want a chance, they're going to have to get a stop and bend and not break. Boise State, shotgun formation. Matson rolls out right, play action, finds Bates on the far sideline. He steps outside near the 40-yard line in UNLV territory, and that's a first down. And that's a gain of 14 on the play. That's just textbook. Great route. Great pass there by Matson. Quick screen there to the outside far side to Caples. And he's brought down after a gain of 4. Stopped at the 36. Boise State today, just this passing game, has shown great versatility in all levels. Quick, medium, and long routes for this Boise State offense. Nate Potter's been cooking it up. Just 12 years of coaching experience. Has been with Boise State a majority of his career. Offensive quality coach, offensive GA, run game coordinator, tight ends coach, and this year offensive coordinator and tight ends coach as well. A quick jet sweep to the left side, getting out of bounds, but unable to turn the corner is Quentin Brown. Haven't seen much of him this season. He is able to get a gain of about 12-yard gain. So it'll be 3rd and short here under center. Madsen on 3rd down. 11:15 to go here in the second quarter. Boise State leads 14-0. And he's going to keep it going up the middle, chugging his way forward, and does so inside the 30, brought down at the 27. And this offense cannot be stopped. And just good play calling there by Potter, able to design something quick, easy, but with great security to pick up the chunk there, not giving UNLV an opportunity to pop that ball loose from a carry in the backfield. So now a new set of downs, 1st and 10 at the UNLV 27, 10:40 to go here in the second quarter. Boise State leads by 14. Play action, Madsen, pump fakes, has to throw it away, almost brought down in the backfield, and smartly throws it away at the feet of Wagner. The redshirt sophomore from Prosper, Texas, stands 6'5", 250 pounds. Just 22 receptions, unable to connect there. And again, this just goes to the processing ability Madsen has and why he is so lethal. And that's oftentimes what we see lack in a collegiate quarterback. But he's doing a really good job here, fresh off a 3-game stint, sitting on the sidelines. Handoff up the middle, Sherrod from the 27 to the 18, a gain of 9 on 2nd and 10, and it'll make it a 3rd and manageable here. This Rebel defense has just been struggling. They've been being beat at the line of scrimmage by this offensive line. Cage, Casey, Kyneth, Randolph, Carrion, and Metoyer doing an excellent job up front, asserting their dominance here in the first half against this defensive line for the most part. Under center, Madsen once again potentially could keep it here on this sneak 3rd and 1. He does, off the right side, falling forward near the 15. And yet again, another first down here for the Boise State Broncos. And once again in the red zone. They have scored 2 times in the last 2 drives. And they're looking to do so for a 3rd time here tonight. So now it's 1st and 10. Ball at the UNLV 15-yard line. Madsen, handoff to the left side. That's Gaines trying to get and turn the corner, and he does so before stepping out of bounds, or just after stepping out of bounds, rather, at the 7. That's a pickup of 8 there on 1st down. Just a 3-headed monster for this running backs group. It's just so lethal. Gaines, Sherrod, and Riley doing a great job this season. 3rd in the Mountain West in total rushing yards, just over 22 total on the ground. And 3 of them are the primary workhorses for this Bronco offense. Madsen under center, Gaines in the backfield. 2 tight ends on each, one on each side. Madsen looking, has time, wide open in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown Broncos! It is now a 3-score game in the first half, and caught there by Cameron Bates. And the Broncos take a commanding 20-point lead here in the second quarter. A 7-yard catch from Cameron Bates. So we just take a look at this play as it evolves. A lot of crossing routes, and he finds himself in the back corner of the end zone. That's just bad communication by the secondary of UNLV, and they are getting dominated in this one. They trail by 21. 8:42 remaining in the first half, and it's all Boise State here in the Mountain West Championship game. 12 plays, 67 yards, and 5 minutes and 36 seconds time of possession. The Broncos a slow, methodical drive down the field, able to dice up this UNLV defense. During the break here at Albertsons Stadium, they had the Grinch and several Boise State fans run the field, and the Grinch was losing by at least 30 yards, and it looked a lot like UNLV in this game, just falling behind and falling behind fast. The Grinch did cheat and win, in quotes, but nonetheless, the Broncos lead 21-0 here in the first half. 8:42 remains, and this offense needs some life here, and they are going to have to use the hands of Anthony Calandria if they're going to want a chance in this game to get anything going. It has not been smooth sailing in the Mountain West Championship games against Boise State. The previous two, the Broncos are back-to-back champions, and this is the third straight game between these two teams, the first time in Mountain West history that's the case between two programs. And so this Rebel offense, after the touchback, will start at their own 25-yard line. We've seen it time and time again, this Rebel team being able to pull it out. But for some reason, this Boise State program over the course of history has had the UNLV number all along. So shotgun formation here. Calandria, option, pitches out to the right side. Thomas trying to break a tackle, brought down near the 28, and a flag thrown from the sideline judge near side. And it sits there at the 31. It might be a holding penalty against UNLV's Dejon Reynolds, awaiting the call on the field. And if it is a penalty on UNLV, it's the last thing they need right now as they trail by 21. And it is a holding penalty against the offense. That pitch from Calandria to Thomas on the outside. It's going to go against D'Angelo Irvin, trying to block and push down the field against Jaden Mickey. And it cost him there, so a 10-yard penalty. Now he's first and long here. Calandria at his own 18 across the middle, intended for Reynolds. Incomplete pass intended for Reynolds. In coverage is Sherrod Smith. High praise coming from head coach Spencer Danielson. He said he's just a phenomenal competitor, and I think Sherrod Smith is going to be one of those corners that are better than we've ever had here before. And a quick injury timeout with an injured Bronco down near the 10-yard line. So we're going to step aside for an injury timeout. Welcome back to the Mountain West Championship game here at Albertsons Stadium. Wyatt Touchet live here on the call on Rebel Sports Net. The Broncos lead 21-0 over UNLV with 8:26 remaining. The injured Bronco was Braxton Feely. He was able to get up on his own and walk to the sideline. He is being examined by medical personnel. Hope the senior from Orem, Utah is all right. Best wishes to him. Hopefully we'll see him back out on the field. So after the holding call on first down against D'Angelo Irvin, it backs the Rebels up 7 yards, unable to get anything on first down. So it's now 2nd and 17. This Rebels offense has just looked stagnant all game long. If you're now just joining us, the offense for Boise State has been dominating throughout this first half. Empty formation, Calandra, pocket collapses, rolls out right, near sideline, incomplete pass towards the 30-yard line. The ball thrown, intended for Irvin on that out route, unable to get there. Calandria looks like the only one that wanted to show up today, and he has just had no help so far. He has been superhero all year long, been able to pull this team out of many, and I mean many holes and deficits, and they are just unable to get anything going here offensively. 3rd and 17. They trail by 21. Calandria, shotgun formation, checks it down, and it's Burns. Tackle near the line of scrimmage. This defense just all over it. No Triani with the tackle. And an injured player on the ground for UNLV. Going to try to take a look at it. Hard to tell from this vantage point here. We are going to step aside here on Rebel Sports Net. Welcome back here on Rebel Sports Net. The Broncos lead by 21. 8:09 remains. The injured Rebel was Malik McGowan, and he was gingerly on that right leg, originally unable to put any pressure, then helped by medical personnel, barely walking off the field. dangerous sight to see. Hope the young kid is okay. He is the transfer from UNC this year, senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Able to get to the sideline and will be examined by medical personnel. With the way he walked off, I would be remiss if I saw him again here during this game. Did not look pretty. And so now the punting unit, Cam Brown and company, comes out onto the field on 4th down. 8:09 remaining here in the second quarter. Punts this one back. Sherrod going to try to return this one. Cuts back outside, trying to find a lane, and is brought down at the 35 by Patterson. And a decent return there for the Broncos, so they will begin their drive at their own 45-yard line with less than 8 minutes to go. And so far through this game, 191 yards total, 142 through the air, 2 passing touchdowns, rushing touchdown for the Broncos. And Maddox Matson has looked like he's been playing all season long. He has been playing so well tonight. Shotgun formation here, Twins right. Play action across the middle, incomplete pass, and a defensive pass interference call is going to go against Andrew Powdrell. The pass was intended for Chris Marshall. It looks like Andrew Powdrell tried to jump that pass, and he was just a little too early. And going down to the field, awaiting the official call. The flag is thrown at the UNLV 43-yard line, and it will be a defensive pass interference. It's an automatic first down for Boise State. Marshall trying to get upfield, about a 7-yard slant. And Powdrell tries to jump it, but he doesn't go for the ball. He just hits Marshall, and it just looks like frustration there from Powdrell as they trail by 21. Matson under center, play action, drops back, looking, gonna go take a shot down the field through the hands of the defender, and an incomplete pass for Boise State. And is Matson lucky that was not caught? In coverage there, LaTerrence Welsh, who has 4 interceptions on the season, 2 of those being a pick 6. 4 interceptions. Amars Brown with the 2 interceptions returned to the house, but it goes through the hands of Welsh. So now it sets up 2nd and 10. Ball in use inside UNLV territory at the 45. Run up the middle, and maybe a gain of 2 there for Riley. Going back to that original play, Boise State trying to take the top off in double coverage. Maddox Matson feeling loose, and he's fortunate that Welsh was unable to come down with it. And that's why he does play in the secondary. As the old saying goes, if you can touch it, you can clutch it. 3rd and 8 here, 7:09 remaining. Quick throw across the middle. Incomplete pass intended for Caples. And so the first time in a long time, this punting unit will come out for the Broncos. Good defensive stand there by UNLV. Ball was jarred out by Jaheim Joseph coming downhill from that safety slot. And Latrell Caples unable to hold on to it. And keep in mind, it is raining here in Boise, Idaho. Ever since arriving this morning from the plane ride, there's just been a lot of rain. And so give a little credit where credit's due, where LaTerrence Welsh and Caples both dropped the ball on the previous 2 plays. And the ball is going to be pinned at the 5. Good punt there by Oscar Doyle. And so this UNLV offense will come out onto the field and start with their backs against the wall and have 95 yards to go down the field. Less than 7 minutes to go, and they trail by 21. So far today, this offense only 100 yards through about 20 minutes of play, just shy of 20 minutes so far in this first half. Only 58 through the air, 42 on the ground. 5 penalties for 35 yards. That's costed them a lot, and they've been very drive killer penalties as well. So a direct snap here. Looks like McGee going to get it. Runs to the right side, past the 10, and drop near the 14 for a gain of 9 on first down. And that's JoJo Earl, correction on the carry. We saw him a number of times last week against Nevada take those direct snaps. And so now a 9-yard carry from JoJo Earl, a transfer from TCU, very athletic, 5 carries last week. Gets one there. The run to the outside. Lee has some room. And a big run there, pushed out of bounds at the UNLV 34. That's a 20-yard carry by Kavon Lee. And it's little plays like that that can be explosive for this Rebel offense to find some life as they trail by 21. Just desperation time here with about 6 minutes and 5 seconds in the first half. New set of downs here for the Rebels. Pistol formation. Now Earl, unaware of where he's supposed to go. Calandria commanding this offense. Now it's set. Calandria, shotgun formation, drops back across the middle, wide open. And hit out of bounds is Lions. The catch and run, push out of bounds at the 48. And that's another first down for UNLV on this drive, a 13-yard catch and run for Lions. And a penalty flag near midfield is thrown. Or what looks like a penalty flag was not some inanimate object. So no penalties, first down and 10 at their own 47. Play action, trips left. Calandria drops back. Finding, caught. That's Earl at the 30-yard line inside Boise State territory. And a penalty flag from the back judge. It's a holding call against the defense, and that's likely to be declined. A big play there for this UNLV offense, who has been stagnant all game long, and they look like they have a big break here on this drive. So as it stands right now, a 22-yard catch to Earl. And the holding call is going to go against number 0, the defense, Ty Benefield, the 2025 All-Mountain West first-teamer. An uncharacteristic holding call there on Ty. He's just one of those guys that is super relentless. Head coach Spencer Danielson spoke highly of him in the press conference earlier this week. Unfortunate penalty there for Benefield. Rebels trail by 21, less than 5 minutes to go. First and 10 inside Boise State territory at the 30. Play action. Calandria has to throw this one away, intended for more, just over his head at the 20 and out of bounds. And sometimes you just have to have a throwaway is the right decision. So Calandria walking towards the sideline to Dan Mullen, trying to get that next play call. Trying to find any life here to end the second quarter and this first half on a high note. 4:49 remains, and they trail by 21. It's just been an ugly game offensively for the Rebels, unable to capitalize on any opportunities. A lot of these have come from mishaps and negative yardage from penalty flags. Handoff to the right side, bounces is Kavon Lee, past the 25, inside the 20, lunging forward and falls down at the 10. Brought down by Sherrod Smith, and that's a gain of 20 from the legs of Kavon Lee. 3 or 4 plays for the Rebels on this play, on this drive of 20-plus yards. And it looks like this offense is finding some rhythm, potentially looking to put points on the board for the first time here tonight. In the Mountain West Championship game, they're looking to find their first Mountain West title. And on the other side, the Broncos looking to three-peat for the first time in Mountain West history. The Broncos lead by 21. Widespread offense, shotgun formation. Calandria, first and goal, at the 10. And he's going to throw it and throw it away, intended for Lee, but in the back of the end zone. The pressure forced him out right, and nothing was there. Anthony Calandria this season has been throwing 68% completion percentage. He's been very accurate so far in the regular season, which is the second best in the Mountain West at 68.2%. Calandria had to throw it away there in order to salvage a potential scoring drive. So second and goal now, ball spotted at the 10. Direct snap lead to the left side in the second level and brought down at the 5 for a gain of 5, and it's now a manageable 3rd and goal. As I look out to the weather forecast into the sky, is just pouring rain here in Boise, Idaho. And we saw in the last possession and last drive for Boise State a dropped interception by Welsh in the back of the end zone, or in the middle of the end zone rather, and a drop pass on 3rd down by Caples. It'll be interesting what the call here from head coach Dan Mullen and offensive coordinator Corey Dennis on 3rd and goal. Ball spotted at the 5, trips right, shotgun formation, and a timeout called by Dan Mullen. That's his first of the half. And so we're going to step aside here on Rebel Sports Net. Welcome back here on Rebel Sports Net. You're listening to UNLV football here on the Mountain West Championship game at Albertsons Stadium, Wyatt, Touchet. Here in the broadcast booth, 3:14 remains here in the second quarter, and Boise State leads by 21. UNLV has yet to score, but they have a great opportunity here. Ball spotted at the 5. It's 3rd and goal, and fresh out of the timeout from Dan Mullen, trying to make sure they capitalize. It's probably going to be 4-down territory with an educated guess here. It's their first appearance in the red zone all season long, 80% TD rate in the red zone for this offense. And so Calandria and company comes out here. 3rd and goal at the 5. Shotgun formation. 2 receivers to his left. Kevon Lee on his right hip. Calandria looking right side. Nothing there. Pocket collapses. He's going to run to the left side. He's in. Touchdown, Rebels. Anthony Calandria, a 5-yard rush. His 9th rushing touchdown of the season. And the first points on the board for UNLV. And boy, does it feel good for Rebel Nation to finally get on the board here in this game. Again, this is what Calandria does every single game, putting this team on his shoulders, not giving up. They trail by 21. The pocket collapses. No one's open, and he does it himself once again. That's why they call him the Magician and Ant-Man. Ramon Viella with the PAT puts it through. And so the Rebels finally get on the board with 3:08 remaining here in the first half. They trail by 14, 21-7 here on Rebel Sports Net. Nine plays, 95 yards in just 3 minutes and 46 seconds of time of possession for the Rebels. They're able to put up 7 points on the board. The first touchdown of the game. It comes by way of Ant-Man Anthony Calandria, a 5-yard scurry into the end zone. All season long, Ant-Man has been phenomenal. Is it Scott Lang? No, it's not. That's Anthony Calandria. Ant-Man has been the guy to put UNLV on his back and lead the way. He is named the 2025 Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year. He's thrown over 3,000 passing yards through the season, the 4th most in a season in UNLV history, and over 500 rushing yards as well, which is the 4th most in a season in UNLV history as well. He is one of 4 quarterbacks in the FBS to throw over 3,000 yards and run over 500 yards as well simultaneously, and has led UNLV to its 4th 10-win season in school history. And the return there for Boise State by Sherrod out to the 21-22 yard line. Waiting for the referees to officially spot it here. And so that's where the Boise State Broncos will begin this drive at the 21. 3:03 remains. They have a 14-point lead, 21-7. This offense has been balling out all game long, and they were stopped on the previous drive by UNLV's defense finally. And so this offense, led by Maddox Madsen, who's having a great day, hands it off to the left side, brought down at the 26 for a gain of 5. And that's Gaines on the carry. So far through this game, Gaines 6 carries, now 28 yards on the ground. He has been leading the way for this Boise State rushing attack so far. Typically, it's Dylan Riley, but he only has 4 carries, 9 yards. And so now Gaines again finds a lane up the middle, breaks the tackle into the third level, breaking more inside UNLV territory. He is not going down. Looks like a beastquake here in Boise. And a huge run on 2nd and 5 inside UNLV territory, brought down at the 39. And it's a first down for Boise State. A 35-yard run by Gaines. And a quick timeout here. It will be the 2-minute timeout off that huge run from Gaines. 35 yards on the ground. Breaking that one out. Explosive run there. Just running through Rebel after Rebel. And the Broncos lead 21-7 at the 2-minute timeout. Fresh out of the 2-minute timeout, the Boise State Broncos lead in the Mountain West Championship game, 21-7. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Wyatt Touchet here live at Albertsons Stadium, listening to UNLV Rebel football on Rebel Sports Net. And all season long, both teams have been pounding the rock. And finally tonight, we're seeing that from the Broncos. As we take a look at both squads and how they've efficiently and well they've been running, we take a look at the leaders. For Jet Thomas, 944 yards on the ground, 12 touchdowns on the season, 7.4 yards per carry. He missed one game, mind you, so if he would have had that game, it's safe to say that he probably would have gotten over 1,000 yards on the ground. Speaking of 1,000, Dylan Riley, 1,016 yards on the season heading into this one. 10 touchdowns on the ground, 6.2 yards per carry. The number 2 rushing offense in the Mountain West is UNLV, 2,400 yards plus on the ground. And for Boise State, they're right behind them. Number 3 in the Mountain West with over 2,200 yards, just shy of 2,300. And we're seeing a rushing attack here finally blossom from Sire. Gains 7 carries, 63 yards, and he just had a 35-yard run on the other side. A quick screen here. Sherrod breaks a tackle. He has a lane down the middle. Breaking free. A penalty flag on the ground, but as it stands, touchdown Broncos. A 39-yard catch and run. A flag is down at the UNLV 33. But it goes to show the slickness of this rainy weather is impacting here, especially in the second quarter. No penalty flag. They pick it up. So a 39-yard catch and run for Sherrod, and they regain a 3-score lead. Just poor tackling by UNLV, but better execution on the offensive side for Boise State. That's a 3-play, 79-yard drive in just a minute and 12 seconds. 2 explosive plays on this drive, 39 yards on that one and 35 on the play before. And this has been something that has killed UNLV's defense all season long, has been explosive plays, 20-plus yard plays in every game. They've been able to maintain it in the last 4 games of the regular season, only holding teams to less than 16 points. But they've allowed 28 points to Boise State's offense here in the first half. And a minute 50 remains here. We're going to step aside for a brief break here on Rebel Sports Net. Thanks for sticking with us here on Rebel Sports Net. The Broncos in a commanding 28-7 lead over UNLV in the Mountain West Championship game. If this is any indicator of what's to come, we are awaiting a three-peat here in the Mountain West in the Broncos' final year in the conference. A minute and 50 remains here in the first half. And the Rebels, who finally got on the board on the previous drive by the legs of Anthony Calandria, is going to have to step up even bigger than he has before. In the brightest of lights here at Albertsons Stadium, Mountain West Championship. And a lot has happened for this offensive side for Boise State, and the Broncos defense has been able to hold this offense, who's the number 1 scoring offense in the Mountain West and the number 15 total offense in all of FBS football, to just 7 points. And whistles blow. Calandria had a wide open lane towards the far sideline. He would have had a house call, but Spencer Danielson running out to the field calling for a timeout. And so that's their first of the half. And so we're going to step aside for a quick timeout break. Don't go anywhere. More action on the other side here on Rebel Sports Net. Thanks for sticking with us here on Rebel Sports Net. UNLV on the field, fresh off the timeout from Spencer Danielson. It's 1st and 10. Ball at their own 25. Shotgun formation, trips right. Calandria across the middle, caught at the 32. Fighting for extra yards, not going down, and brought down officially at the 35-yard line. A big in there by Day Reynolds. And there's a flag at the 41-yard line in UNLV territory. Day Reynolds, 2 catches, 21 yards in this game before that catch. And a delay on the field here, waiting the call for the flag on the play. And it's going to be a holding call on the defense. They are going to decline it. And so it'll be first down for UNLV. And so the clock will continue on the snap. 1:42 remains. UNLV trails by 21. Scores 28-7 here. Shotgun formation, trips right once again. Calandra, quick throw to the outside. A little too far to the outside. Intended there for Irvin for the quick screen. Incomplete pass. And just the ball is just a little off the mark. Uncharacteristic from Anthony Calandria there. The sidearm throw. Great defensive presence on the secondary, or from the secondary rather, from Jaden Mickey. Able to get in that passing lane, forcing Calandria to get that sidearm motion. So now it sets up 2nd and 10, ball at their own 35-yard line. 1:39 remains, trips right, shotgun formation, Calandria gonna keep it, runs to the left side, he has a lane, inside Boise State territory, tripped up at the 45, and that tackle there by Bowen Phelps might have saved a touchdown run for 65 yards if he wasn't able to trip up Calandria there. So 1st and 10 inside Boise State territory at the 45. Trips right again. Same formation here. And a timeout by UNLV. Gonna think this one over. And a great run there and read by Anthony Calandria. I mean, all season long, over 500 rushing yards on the ground. He's the 2nd leading rusher for this UNLV squad. And he's been an absolute lethal threat in every imagination, every way that you can think of. And with a guy like Anthony Calandria, you just think all the talent, but the maturity that this kid has at the quarterback position, coming into a new system under Dan Mullen, coming from Virginia, where he's able to find some success as a freshman, setting records for completions, passing yards, and total offense. He had over 2,000 yards of total offense, almost 2,000 yards passing, and had 154 completions at UVA his freshman year. That's a single-season record for the Cavaliers. I mean, the growth that this kid has had in his collegiate career, the junior, is now named the 2025 Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year, and we're seeing why on this drive and the previous one. They trail by 21. Calandria dropping back. Going to use his legs again. Escaping free to left side, far side, down the sideline, inside the 30, inside the 20. Cuts back in the middle. He's in the end zone, but he steps out of bounds near the 36. And so he's going to go down at the 26, after a gain of 19 on the ground. Looking at the replay, his left foot does step out of bounds. Notriani able to push him to the sideline, that 12th defender. Unfortunate for the Broncos, Calandria not taking over on that play, but it now sets up new fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 for the Rebels at the Bronco 26. Thomas to the left side, first down and a little bit more. Hits his own man and falls down at the 11, and an injured Rebel at the 11, the same guy who he hit. And that's Day-Day Reynolds just crawling his way to the sideline, hobbling on his left leg, and he's struggling, grimacing from that right leg. Might have gotten rolled up on. Did not see there. Might be a high ankle injury. Don't want to speculate. Hope he's okay and able to return. So now 1st and 10, ball at the Boise 11. Shotgun formation, trips right. One-on-one, left side, caught. Pylon falls down. Is he in? Waiting for the indicator. He's in. Touchdown, Rebels. 11-yard catch to Troy O'Meara. One-on-one coverage. Calandria putting it exactly on that back shoulder fade where he can't get it. And in coverage was Irby, the 2025 All-Mountain West second team. And that just shows the talent and the versatility Troy O'Meara provides for this arsenal this offense has. And so now the second touchdown of the game for the Rebels comes by way of air, and it's an 11-yard strike to the near side, to the far side pylon for UNLV. And it looks like they're going to review it. So we're going to step aside here. 48 seconds remain in the first half. And as it stands right now, 28-13, and a touchdown pass, 11 yards to Troy O'Meara. And after further review, the call on the field is upheld, and it's an 11-yard touchdown catch for Troy O'Meara. 6 plays, 75 yards in just a minute and 2 seconds. That's O'Meara's 5th touchdown as a Rebel this season, cutting the lead down. And Ramon Viella, the PAT, is up and in, and officially cutting the lead down to 14. Scores 28-14. 49 seconds remain here in the first half. Be curious to see the school of thought here for the Boise State Broncos. They've had such great success on the offensive side today. Do you want to even risk potentially going 3 and out, turning the ball over with the Rebels, finding some momentum here late in the second quarter? I mean, it's one of those things where Spencer Danielson has to look at this game and say, we're coming in here to win. And I couldn't disagree with either thought. If I'm Spencer Danielson, I'm thinking to be aggressive. You have 2 timeouts, 49 seconds. This offense has been rolling, has stuttered a little bit as of the last few minutes, but nonetheless, they were able to get a huge touchdown, catch and run on the last drive from Sherrod, and it was fueled by a 35-yard run as well previously before that. It'll be interesting to see what the Broncos do here on this drive, awaiting the kickoff. It's It is Cade Costa for the Rebels. And so 49 seconds remain here in the first half. The Rebels trying to scratch and claw their way back into this Mountain West Championship game, down by 14. They will return it. Sherrod taking it to the right side, gets the angle, and steps out of bounds at the 23. Chain gang member hit out of bounds. Able to get up and helped up by a fellow Rebel. And so the Boise State Broncos will come out and start at their own 23-yard line. And so they are 77 yards away from the end zone. The season high for Colton Boomer is 50 yards. His career high is 55, dating back to 2023 when he was at UCF. So the handoff, Riley, right side, has a lane, trying to break a tackle, pushed out of bounds at the 26. Only gets 3 there. And it's 38 seconds left on the clock. And the clock is stopped because he was pushed out of bounds by LaTerrence Welsh. The ball's spotted at the right hash for Boise State. They lead by 14. And so looking at this game as a whole, it's been a tale of 2 quarters. I mean, Boise State still a big lead 2-score game so far. Handoff, Riley to the left side, able to pick up the first down. Stopped around the 33, 34-yard line. It's going to be interesting where they spot it. It is a first down regardless, and it's a 7-yard carry spotted at the 33. And they'll continue hurrying up here. Madsen drops back, looking, fires across the middle, dropped. And a costly one there. But it might have actually been better that Lauder dropped it, because if he would have caught it, they would have had to burn a timeout or lose time, either or. It's now second down. Lauder, who is 3rd all-time in receiving yards for tight ends in Boise State program history, drops one there. Unable to corral it, but that's probably a better drop in hindsight. Normally, you don't want to see any drops from your receivers. It is raining. It's pouring cats and dogs here in Boise, Idaho. It's now second down. Madsen goes back to the well. Lauder catches that one. Clock continues to tick. 20 seconds here. No timeout. Ball spotted at the 39. And I'm assuming head coach Spencer Danielson might let this one run out, and the crowd here at Boise does not like that. They want them to be aggressive, but understandably so. You're still in your side of the field. And that catch by Lauder is going to take us to the end of the first half. Boise State with a commanding 28-14 lead. And the Rebels score 14 in the second quarter, showing some life. And maybe, just maybe, they're able to find some momentum and turn that into the second half comeback and a miracle on the road in Boise, where they have not won ever in program history. here on Rebel Sports Net. You're listening to UNLV football and the Mountain West Championship game. We're going to go to halftime. Stick with us here for third quarter and fourth quarter action here on Rebel Sports Net. Welcome back to Albertsons Stadium here for the Mountain West Championship game. It's the start of the second half, and the Boise State Broncos, who lead 28-14, will get the ball back first because they won the toss, selected to defer, and the offense will come out to the stage here on the Smurf turf, the blue turf, to start the second half. They were absolutely on fire in the first two quarters, 14 points in both, 288 total yards, 186 of those on through the air, and they just woke up in the end of the second quarter on the ground by way of Sire. Gained 7 carries, 63 yards, with a player of the game so far, Maddox Madsen, 11 of 17, 186 yards and 3 passing touchdowns, completing 65% of his passes. His quarterback rating so far through this game is 214.8, and he was able to get a 10-yard run into the end zone as well. So 4 total touchdowns for Maddox Madsen, who looks just back in the groove like he's been playing all season long. He did miss the last 3 games, but this matchup between UNLV and Boise State, you take a look at the history, the all-time record. This is the 16th overall meeting, and UNLV has just struggled to find a win. Not only this team or the teams of the last 2 years, but historically speaking, they haven't won against Boise State since 1976. It has been a long time. And in that first quarter and the beginning of the second as well, this game just looked like it was going to be a blowout. They trailed as much as 21 points going into the second part of the second quarter with like about 5 minutes remaining, and they were able to dig out of a little bit of a hole. They did give up a touchdown later on to Sherrod, but nonetheless, we take a look at the beginning of the second half, and if there's any indication of a miracle, it starts with this drive. Can the Broncos emphatically come back and still show that they are dominant in the Mountain West for the 3rd straight year, or will the Rebels pull off a miracle on the road for their first ever Mountain West title? And the return there from Sherrod gets to about the 24, and so this Boise State offense will come out onto the field. This program has dominated year after year. They have won 36 all-time conference titles, 5 of those in the Mountain West, and just 9 Mountain West appearances. Tonight would be 6 in a three-peat. 1st and 10 at their own 24, handoff to Riley. He dived forward to the 29 for a gain of 5. And an injured player immediately for the Rebels on his knees is on the defensive line for UNLV. That's number 92, Jalen Lee. He's being attended to by medical staff. So 14 seconds in, and we're going to step aside for an injury timeout. Thanks for sticking with us here. During that injury timeout, Jalen Lee was able to get off the field attended by medical personnel. They are headed to the tent, but fortunately he was able to walk off with some assistance. Hopefully the young kid is okay. He did begin his career at Florida under head coach Dan Mullen, one of a few players that did transfer into this program this season doing so. So the run to the left side, Riley fighting for those extra yards, stuffed at the line, but able to lunge forward for a gain of 2. Brought down at the 31. That extra effort has shown why this program has been so successful year after year, historically speaking. And it'll just be so important this first drive or two for Boise State and UNLV's defense as well to really give it an indication where the adjustments mentally have been made for this game. Championship on the line, trips right, shotgun formation here, and a big 3rd and 3, 14 minutes to go. 28-14, 14-point lead for the Broncos. Pressure, blitz, thrown to the blitz side. That's the far sideline. Sherrod inside UNLV territory and brought down at the 48 by Jake Pope Jr. But that's well after a first down and then some. A 21-yard catch and run. Beautiful display by Maddox Madsen. Seeing the blitz, you're taught once you see that blitz come from that side, you throw it, because if a blitz is coming this way, there's likely an open man right behind him. He perfectly gets it over the defender, and Sherrod does the rest, picking up the first down inside UNLV territory to begin the second half. Riley off the left side, checking his legs, and is hauled to a stop at the UNLV 44 after a gain of 4. And this is going to be the key part of the Boise State offensive plan in the second half. Run and run efficiently. It not only will open up the offensive passing lanes that we've seen in the first half, but when you run, that clock continues to tick, and they're up 14 right now. They don't want to give UNLV any opportunity, any momentum whatsoever to feel like they have a shot in this game. Madsen under center. Ball at the 44, 2nd and 6. Handoff Riley to the right side. Tackle by Pope, but not allowing himself to go down. Officially stopped at the 40 by the help of Jaheim Joseph. And after that hit, there's an injured offensive lineman on the ground for Boise State. So we're going to step aside for another injury timeout here on Rebel Sportsnet. Welcome back here on Rebel Sportsnet, live from Albertsons Stadium, the Mountain West Championship game. The Broncos up 28-14, 12:30 here in the second half. It's currently the third quarter. An injured Bronco was able to get up. It was the right tackle of this offensive line, Dalen Matoyer, the redshirt junior from Mount San Antonio College, running from Southern California. He was able to get up, was limping off the field. Hope he is okay. As we take a look at a shared coach between the two programs, the legend of Tony Knapp. Tony Knapp coached at Boise State from 1968 to 75, posting a 71-19-1 record. Knapp left Boise State and coached UNLV over 6 seasons worth, where he went 47-20-2. The legendary coach left both programs as the all-time winningest coach. And so he did pass away back in 2011, but his legacy lives on here at Albertsons Stadium, the home of the Boise State Broncos, and this program has a lot of life because of Coach Knapp. And so now back to the action, 3rd and 2 for the Broncos under center. Madsen, handoff, gains up the middle, stopped short on 3rd down. Kamwalakai Hua putting up his fist for 4th as he knows how important that 3rd down was. And this Boise State offense will still stay out there for 4th down. This season, they've converted 53.1%, which is 7th in the Mountain West. So they quickly get to the line. Under center, Madsen, play action, looking, wide open receiver across the middle. He trips over his own shoes. It would have been a wide open house call, and UNLV's defense survives off a tripped route. Madsen was licking his chops, looking at Caples running free across the middle and unable to connect. Mind you, it is pouring rain, and before the game was walking on the field and just puddle after puddle, you're walking and you just feel the squishing noise. But just an unfortunate fourth down mishap for Boise State. That might be a moment later in this game, if it's still close, they will look back on and want back. And so now the Rebels of UNLV come out onto the field with some momentum off a big fourth down stop. 1st and 10 at their own 40. Shotgun formation. Calandra, the option, is going to keep it. Goes to the right side. Tries to get the angle and steps out of bounds near the 43-44. And this clock's going to continue to roll after a gain of 3. That was the right decision there. He either was going to pitch it out or keep it himself, and the defender chose Jet Thomas wisely. It was Notriani who made Calandra make the decision whether he's going to keep it or not, and that's just textbook run option there between Calandra and Thomas. Both of them all Mountain West first team announced this year, earlier this week. So now 2nd and 7. Rebels trail by 14. Calandra looking across the middle, caught near midfield and tackled close to the line again. That's Bradley on the catch and run, awaiting for the official spot to see what the referees say. And it's enough for a first down. A lot of confusion. Pre-snap penalty is a flag is thrown, whistles are blown, and all that yardage that they just got is going to come back. That right side of the offensive line kind of jumped up. This crowd here packing in Albertsons Stadium, not fully, but a decent amount, enough to affect this offensive cadence for Calandra and this O-line. Would not be surprised if we start seeing a little bit more silent count here moving forward. Less than 11 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Rebels trail by 14, fresh off the first down from Jaden Bradley. A 5-yard penalty, backs up to 1st and 15, and a loss there on the run. It's Max Steege, who was injured earlier, and makes a play here, returning in full form. During the halftime, looking at the stats, looking at the lack of involvement with Jet Thomas, understandably so, this defense has taken that responsibility of making sure to slow down Jet Thomas, and they've almost near stopped him this game, making him ineffective. This guy is 5th all-time in UNLV career rushing touchdowns with 31. He's only 3 behind the Chuck Wagon, Charles Williams, and he has just been ineffective tonight, unable to get anything going, only 17 yards on the ground, and the Rebels will take a timeout as the play clock got low. So we'll step aside here from Albertsons Stadium. Welcome back here inside Albertsons Stadium, live on Rebel Sports Net. The Broncos lead 28-14, 9:45 remains here in the Mountain West Championship football game. Here live in the broadcast booth, Wyatt, Touchet, as we take a look at the big blue advantage, meaning the big blue turf on the field that a lot of people know about. The Boise State introduced the non-green blue turf in 1986, and since then, the Broncos hold an 83.5% win rate, over 200 wins throughout their history. And since 2000, the Broncos have won 89.6%, almost 90, with over 145 wins on the blue, which is the nickname for it, and which is the third highest in the nation at home since 2000. And so with that being said, they have shown their dominance here so far in the first half. Second half, had to punt the ball, turn the ball over on downs after a failed fourth down conversion. So a 2nd and 21. Calandra goes down for a sack. Jaden Virgin Morgan brings him down. Calandra does not go down often. And seeing him go down there, great job by the second-teamer All-Mountain West, the redshirt junior from San Diego, California. He was a member of the All-Mountain West first team a year ago, and he's shown his great impact on that defensive line, an absolute stud for this defense. It was a loss of 3, 3rd and 24. Snapped, Calandra wasn't ready for it. He rolls out left, directing traffic, and throws it away, and it'll be 4th down for the Rebels. Fortunately, it was not a fumbled snap. Calandra wasn't even looking towards the direction of his center, and this offense stalls out once again in the beginning of a half. We expect this to see in the first 2 quarters all season long. History has kind of repeated itself for this offense, but they've been a much better second-half team than what we just saw there on that drive. It's those negative yards plays for this Rebel offense that has been stalling out these drives and killing opportunities to have momentum, to be able to capitalize opportunity. Cam Brown with the punt, dribbles it from the 32 all the way inside the 20 and takes a UNLV roll out of bounds at the 12. His punts, for the most part, just haven't been clean, and understandably so. The weather experiencing here in Boise, Idaho, if you're now just joining us, it's pouring rain, very cold here, about 40 degrees. Last time I checked. But right now, the weather that we are looking at here in Boise is not the ideal. Cold, wet game. 28-14, Boise leads with less than 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter on Rebel Sports Net. Welcome back to Albertsons Stadium here at Boise, Idaho. The Broncos lead 28-14, 8:47 remains. And this state, this town feeds off of football, but they also feed off the community as well. All-American left tackle Cage Casey and his wife Kirsten, a former Boise State volleyball player, are teaming up to support the community this season. The Caseys will donate $300 to the Boise Rescue Mission for each of Cage's pancake blocks. The Boise Rescue Mission provides homeless services to people in Boise and surrounding areas from 6 locations in the local counties. And it's safe to say here tonight, Cage has been able to provide several $100s from this offensive display on the line of scrimmage so far here tonight. And it's great to see guys that dominate on the field are making an impact in their respected community. And I know a lot of people admire and love Cage, not only for his play, but also for his philanthropic heart. And so now 1st and 10 as the Boise State Broncos come out onto the field. Ball is pinned at their own 12. Shotgun formation here, trips left for the Broncos. Tight end on the right side. Handoff up the middle. Fallen and stopped near the 17-18 yard line is Riley. And after they spot it here at the 17, that's a gain of 5 for Riley. Previously, before that run, Riley has only had 35 yards in this game, 11 carries. So getting the brunt of the work primarily, but Sire Gaines also 8 carries, 63 yards. He was able to find some momentum in that second quarter and get some big yardage there, an explosive play at that. And Riley here, the exact opposite, this D-line getting there, thrown on the ground excessively after, no penalty flags thrown. Just Touchet, Atalea, and company. And it's Atalea who's the one that throws down Riley. Riley's going to come out of the game. Sherrod comes in. And UNLV's fortunate that no penalty flags were thrown. Atalea, Joseph were able to stop him there. And so that sets up 3rd and 5 for Boise State. On 3rd down, they've been 6 of 9 converting here tonight. 7:30 to go here. Dropping back, Madsen checks it down. That hitch route is open for Wagner. He catches it, and it's caught at the 23-yard line. A flag thrown late, and an injured Bronco at the 26. A number of injuries here in the second half. Not sure if it has anything to do with the weather going on or it's just because it's cold. You feel the numbness, and then the pain that hits is very strong because your body is experiencing the atmosphere and the conditions of this environment. And it's Penry. He's able to get up after holding down on one knee. And a personal foul called on the defense. So it'll be an automatic first down and tack on some more yards after that. And for the Rebels, before that penalty, they've had 6 for 40. And that one's going to put them up for 7 and 50 after that 10-yard penalty. So now it's 1st and 10. Boise at their own 38. Madsen, shotgun formation, drops back, fires, right side. Caught by Caples at the UNLV 49. And he's able to get separation and make the catch on Welsh, who was in coverage. And that's just a great job, having time, able to deliver a shot, but also credit to Caples on the outside, working on Welsh and utilizing his body and the physicality of this game to set himself up and get open. And after that catch, the officials are going to go review to make sure that he survived the ground. We saw one earlier in the first half where that was the case and Caples did drop it. They're going to review this one. So we're going to step aside here. After review, we'll have more on Rebel Sports Net. And if you can hear the boos in the stadium, the call on the field has been reversed, and the catching process did not survive the ground. This is the second time today Capel's unable to haul it down. He's been targeted 6 times today, and that's his second drop pass. So now it sets up 2nd and 10, ball at their own 38-yard line. So Boise State on 2nd down will have to make some magic happen and account for that drop pass. Matson, shotgun formation, dropping back, has ample time, finds Penry at the 42, caught and dropped immediately to secure the catch. Amaris Brown in coverage, and that's a gain of 4. And that sets up 3rd down here for the Broncos at the 42. They're 7 of 10 on 3rd down. Good, just quick chunk play there. Able to find somebody open. Madsen now on 3rd down, trips left, shotgun formation. And a false start on the end by Wagner. A little twitch jump back, and that's going to push him 5 yards in the wrong direction. It was 3rd and 6. Now it's going to be 3rd and 11. And ball should be spotted at the 37 accordingly. Boise State with a 14-point lead right now. 6:24 remains in the 3rd quarter. Clock continues to tick after that penalty. Scores 28-14. It has been a very slow 3rd quarter. No one has yet to score so far. And a big opportunity for the Rebels to get off the field and try to give this offense some good field position. Dropping back time. Hit as he throws across the middle. Just too high, intended for Marshall. And Matson took an absolute shot there at the end. He had a receiver. There was a defensive back in coverage. As Matson drops back, there was only 3 rushing, and off that right side, Chief Porter just lays the hit on him. It's too high. Fortunately, not high enough where the Rebels secondary could pick that one off. It would have been Jake Pope if that was sailed a little higher. But now it sets up 4th down for the Broncos. And so the punt almost blocked. But a UNLV defender runs into Oscar Doyle. The penalty flag is thrown. Jaden Bradley has some choice words for the referee. And then the referee picks up the flag. And so this crowd does not like that call. We take a look at the replay. 91 for the Rebels. Try to block it. And he has that room to try to go for it. Hits Doyle at the top. Doyle starts taunting at Bradley. Bradley didn't like it, so that's probably part of why he had said something. But there's no penalty flag, so the Rebel offense will come out on the other side. We're going to step aside. 5:54 remaining, and the Rebels have the ball. as Boise State leads 28-14 here in the Mountain West Championship. They are all about championships and diplomas. This program succeeds on the field and in the classroom. The Boise State football team recorded an NCAA graduation success rate, the GSR, of 96%, which is the highest in program history. This is the second highest in the Mountain West and the fourth best in the FBS this year. And it's great to see these young men not only apply themselves here on the field, but also in the classroom and get an education that is very valuable to them. 1st and 10 for the Rebels at their own 22. Breaking free on the far sideline. Stepped out of bounds and hit is Thomas. His first big run of the game. Looked like he was stopped near the line of scrimmage and then bursted out of nowhere. And a big gain there from the Jet as he flew and soared to the 45, a 23-yard gain on 1st down. Like I said, it looked like he was stopped short as he has been all night long, and then out of nowhere, he just has a burst of energy and able to make a big play here for the Rebels. Explosive play. Calandria spins around, evades the sack, throwing far side, and it's out of bounds. Looking at Calandria, he's on the ground, a little murmur from the crowd. Something's going on. Looks like they want a penalty flag potentially for intentional grounding, but it appeared that Calandria was outside of the pocket, just barely on that left hash, just outside of it. No penalty flags thrown, so it's 2nd and 10. 5:24 remains. Rebels trail by 14. Ball's on their own 45. Trips right here. Shotgun formation. Calandria motions Bradley to the left side. On 2nd down, drops back. Calandria looking, pressure in his face. Hit as he throws. Far sideline. Caught and out of bounds at the 32. JoJo Earl with a great play on the ball. A 23-yard catch for Earl. The transfer from TCU, this senior, only 5'10", 185 pounds. This kid can fly, and he was able to fly to the ball and get out of bounds to stop the clock for just moments. Now 5 minutes to go here in the third. Handoff Thomas, the left side, breaks the tackle, almost breaks the second. And Notriani, fortunately, brings him down. That's the second time that we've seen the Rebels one tackle, missed tackle, broken tackle away from a house call. That's one of the lethal aspects of the run game as a whole, but especially Jet Thomas and this running back's room, is that later on in this game as it goes, the more tired this defense gets, the opportunities will come. Rolling out right, looking for Bradley, incomplete. Great coverage there by Sherrod Smith. Just all over Bradley, seatbelt coverage, and that puts us at a 3rd and 6 for the Rebels. 4:20 here in the third quarter. They trail by 14. It's going to be a crucial 3rd down. The Rebels tonight only 2 of 8 converting on this down. On the season, they're one of the best in the Mountain West. 4 receivers to the right, empty formation. Calandria. 3rd and 6, and a timeout called just in time by Mullen. A flag is thrown in the back, in the secondary, but they give the timeout to head coach Dan Mullen first. So we'll step aside. Second called timeout for the Rebels this half. 28-14, 4:20 remains here from Albertsons Stadium. All right, fresh out the timeout from Dan Mullen. They only have one remaining this half. 4:20 remains here in the third quarter. Down by 14. Didn't like what he saw there on 3rd and 6. Took a snapshot. They come back in the same formation. 4 receivers to the right side. Empty formation. Calandria, 3rd and 6. Ball at the Boise State 28. Burns, the motion man to the left. Calandria drops the snap, picks it back up, running around, trying to make something happen here on 3rd down. Fires far sideline. Hits the hand of O'Meara, but it hits him when he's out of bounds. And so bring on 4th down. Calandria and the Rebels are forever grateful that play did not end in negative yardage there, because that could have been a disaster. Calandria just running around, trying to buy himself some time. Does so, gets the ball out, and a necessary desperation 4th down here for the Rebels. Tonight on 4th down, it's their first attempt. 4th and 6, 1 timeout. They trail by 14, 4:10 remaining in the third quarter. Calandria drops back in shotgun, pressure off the edge, rolls out to the right, connects. Elksness on the far side coming this way across the middle, and is tackled inside the 10 and brought down and outside at the 8. What a play by Calandria to have the poise to not let the pressure get to him, put it on the money, and Elksness in this rain, in this climate, be able to hold on to it and run after the catch there. Big play. And so now ball spotted at the 8 after an 18-yard catch and run. Calandria is going to keep it left side, trucking forward. Only gets a yard there. And so it's 2nd and goal. Ball will be spotted at the 7. And an injured Bronco down at the 5-yard line. So we will step aside once again, fresh off that 4th down conversion, 20-yard pass, catch and run for Elksness, and then a run there by Calandria. An injured Bronco on the field. Don't go anywhere. The injured Bronco was Lopez Sanusi. He was able to get up and walk off. Hope that kid is all right. We've had multiple injuries here tonight. Hate to see that kind of action and displacement. Hopefully he's able to return and return healthy. So now 2nd and goal here. A crucial set of downs. Ball spotted at the 7. Rebels trail by 14, but a touchdown here can make it a 1-score game. Earl now motion, empty formation. Running himself, cuts inside, gets outside, diving effort, extends, he's in. Touchdown Rebels, a 7-yard run for JoJo Earl. JoJo Earl this season, that's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year for the TCU transfer, and the senior in a big moment in 2nd and goal. Cuts the lead down to a 1-score game. The last time it was a 1-score game was back in the first quarter when it was 7-0. And the Rebels have fought and clawed their way back into this game. And now we are talking some ball. Ramon Viella, the PAT, it's up and good. And some words being exchanged here after the PAT between the offensive and defensive linemen of UNLV and Boise State. An exciting one, 28-21. The Rebels knocking on the door. 2:59 remains here on Rebel Sports Net. 9 plays, 78 yards in just 2 minutes and 55 seconds. And ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a ball game. It's the Mountain West Championship football game here in Boise, Idaho, here at Albertsons Stadium. Live on Rebel Sportsnet, Wyatt Touchet here in the broadcast booth. Score is 28-21. The Rebels trailed as much as 21 in this ball game in the second quarter, excuse me. 2:59 remains here in the third. Cade Costa will kick this one off. Deep back is Sherrod. He's going to return this one 2 yards deep from the end zone. Going to go to the left side, and he's tripped up and falls down at the 22, so a 24-yard return. And so this Boise State Broncos offense that has struggled this third quarter will come out onto the field and look to find something. Earlier in the quarter, they had an opportunity on fourth down, a house call to Latrell Caples. He trips up on his own shoe on a post route across the middle, wide open, unable to connect, and it's allowed the Rebels to bring it within one. Empty formation here. Sherrod motions out to the right side far. Madsen, pre-snap, audible, 8 seconds on the play clock. Drops back, looking for a quick play. Nothing there. Rolls out to the right. Fires that one way past anybody. That could have been an intentional grounding. Nothing called there. And so it'll be second down. And they will say he is outside of the pocket when he threw it. And after looking at the replay, he was there, outside out of the pocket. Chief Borders with the pressure off that right side. Doing a good job today trying to find Maddox. Run to the left side. Riley Brooks a tackle near sideline and hit out of bounds near the 31. And that's going to be short of a first down. So it's going to bring us to 3rd and 1 after a 9-yard carry from Dylan Riley, who today has gotten most of the load, but has only gone 41 yards before that carry. So now 50 on the game on 14 attempts. So now on 3rd and 1, big one here. Under center, Madsen. 9 on the play clock, motions, Lauder to the right side, Riley up the middle, picks up the first down, and falls at the 34. That's a gain of 3 and enough for a Bronco first down. This has been the part of the game that we haven't seen much of from the Broncos as we have consistently over the year. But nonetheless, they have 135 yards on the ground and 351 total so far tonight. So now scores 28-21. A minute and a half to go here in the third quarter. Minute 35. And flags fly pre-snap. Waiting to see where the call is likely to be on the offensive side as the head honcho indicates the offensive penalty on number 72. Zach Holmes, the redshirt senior, who did not play for the Broncos until last season. He comes from West Lynn, Oregon. And so I'll back up this offense 5 yards. Now making it 1st and 15. Ball at their own 29. 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Boise State leads by 7. Riley up the middle, breaking a tackle, leveled at the 35-yard line and falls at the 36 by the hit of Jaheim Joseph. A gain of 7 there on the carry. So cuts 1st and 15 in half, just about to 2nd and 8. A good carry there on first down. And much of what we were saying about Jet Thomas chopping away slowly at the wood against that Bronco defense. Same goes here for this rushing side for the Broncos. Bunch right. Caples motion to the left side. Maddox looking open. Marshall caught at the 41, running across the middle and picks up the first down. Dropped at the 46, a gain of 10. Clock continues to tick. 38 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and this offense is slowly moving down the field. Now 20 seconds on the game clock. 7-point lead for the Broncos under center I formation. Handoff to Riley, able to evade the first tackle, gets to the second level, and brought down at the UNLV 48-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 6. And that carry will bring us to the end of the third quarter. It's a one-score game in the Mountain West Championship, and it's going to be decided in the next 15 minutes here on Rebel Sports Net. It's the start of the fourth quarter in the Mountain West Championship game. A one-score game at that, 28-21 here at Albertsons Stadium. Wyatt Touchet on the call. Taking a look at the stats ahead of the final 15-minute stretch in this ball game. In total yards, Boise State 374, UNLV 350. 226 of those yards for the Broncos have come by way of the air. And for UNLV, 186 of their yards came by way of the ground. They have been able to find some success here in the second half. They trailed as much as 21 points in the second quarter, and they've cut the lead down to 7 to start the fourth quarter. A lot at stake. The first three-peat in Mountain West history for the Broncos, or the first Mountain West title ever going home to the UNLV Rebels. It will be decided in the final 15 minutes in this game. Seven Nation Army reigning here in Boise, Idaho at Albertsons Stadium. It's championship atmosphere. Big-time players are going to make big-time plays. Who will be the hero amongst the rest? The start of the fourth quarter, the Broncos start with the ball. 2nd and 4 at the UNLV 48. Shotgun formation, two receivers to the left. Matson in shotgun formation. Hands it off up the middle, met at the line of scrimmage, and dropped immediately by Jalen Lee. Riley unable to go anywhere. And a great tackle by Lee to get off the block quickly with his hands. Great technique, ripping through and just wrapping up Riley, not allowing him to get anywhere. And it wasn't a tackle up in his torso. He finished right at the hips, which limits Riley's ability to chug and utilize his legs to keep moving forward. And he had help along the way. The weather here in Boise has died down. No rain, but the first three quarters it was pouring. Now things have subsided. 3rd and 3 here. Play action. Looking. Wide open. Penry. Far sideline. Caught at the 42. Has a lane. Has a blocker. Cuts back inside. Inside the 5. Tackled at the 1. A big play on 3rd down. A 46-yard catch and run for Penry. His 2nd explosive play of the game. Moments ago, we spoke on who is going to be a hero that rises amongst the rest, and it might be the name Chase Penry, as he almost had a house call on a crucial 3rd and 3. Penry with 4 catches, 96 yards on the day. That was his longest catch there. 1st and goal at the 1. Fires it far side of the end zone. Incomplete. Lauder got a hand on it. Mumu bin Wahad in coverage. And a dangerous play there for UNLV. Almost having to hold their breath. Almost a converted catch by Lauder. The Broncos are not going out without a fight. That gains his 8th touchdown of the season on the ground. The redshirt freshman from Paris, California. He received 2 Mountain West Freshman of the Week honors. Kid's a stud, over 700 yards in the regular season. He's able to punch it in there from 1 yard out. So now Boise State alive here in the 4th quarter. PAT kick is up and in from Boomer. And so Boise State has a 14-point lead, 35-21. Will the Rebels respond? The answer will be here on the other side of Rebel Sports Net. Ten plays, 78 yards in 4 minutes and 31 seconds of time of possession for the Broncos. Able to go a majority of the field to put up 7, and they lead by 14, 35-21 here in the early frame of the 4th quarter. 13:23 remains here in the 4th, and the Rebels will have a chance to respond and cut it back down to a 1-score game. This will be a very interesting drive. This one most likely will be the most important one up to this point, because if the Rebels are able to capitalize, they will have a chance to get a stop on the defensive end and make this a tie game. If not, take the lead if they go for 2. But if they are not able to, this is a momentous point in this ball game. The Rebels are not able to convert and answer back to the Broncos of Boise State, this could be the end of the Rebels in this championship game and bring on the three-peat for the Broncos. So after the kickoff, it goes into the back of the end zone. And so the Rebels will start at their own 25. 1st and 10. Shotgun formation here for Calandria. 2 receivers to his left. Tight end on the left side as well. Thomas motion to the left side. Calandria going to keep it. Cuts back inside. And is tackled by Benefield at the 33 for a gain of 8. It almost looked like it was a designated run there to be able to spread out this defense, force them to either collapse in the middle or go spread out towards the outside. And Calandra making a good read, finding the gap and gaining the yards using his legs once again this season. So now another direct snap looking with Earl taking it. A little trickery here, flicks it back to Calandria, pressure off the edge, and throws it away, hits the hand of Earl, spins around, but unable to hold on to it. The Rebels try to take the top off there with some trickery, and the defense for Boise very stout and resilient, able to get a stop on a trick play. So now bring 3rd and 2 for the Rebels. Tonight they have struggled all game long. 2 of 9 on 3rd down this season. They've been able to convert 47%, almost 48. Here we go. 3rd and 2 at their own 33. Calandria looking. Throws it just too low for Kavon Lee. And if you're UNLV, you got to go for it. Go for it here. It's desperation mode once again. But they're going to bring on the punting unit, and Anthony Calandria wants that pass back. No Triani in coverage on Lee. But Kavon Lee had the lane to catch the ball. Calandria just threw it too short. An uncharacteristic incompletion there from Calandria. And so Cam Brown will punt it. And he does so from the 27. Pinch Sherrod all the way at the 20. And so the defense will come out on the other side. They're looking to get a needed stop here with 12:32 remaining. They are down by 14. as this Boise State Broncos offense comes out onto the field up 14. Let's take a look at their guy in charge at the helm, Maddox Madsen, 8th all-time in passing yards, completed passes, TD passes, and 300 and 200-plus yard passing games. He has been an absolute thrill for this program, and he ranks 7th all-time in program history with 6,658 career yards of total offense, and he has the 3rd lowest interception ratio in program history with 16 interceptions and 787 pass attempts, and he's looking to put the final nail in the coffin here on this drive. 12:32, Boise State 35, UNLV 21, handoff up the middle, maybe a gain of 2, stopped at the 22. Carry there by Riley. This is the moment in the game where the Boise State Broncos can emphatically take what is theirs, as they have the last 2 years. But if they're not able to, the Rebels could have just a little bit of life and not fully be drowned out of this championship game. And on 2nd and 8, empty formation here. Madsen by himself. 3 receivers to the right, 2 on the left. 10 on the play clock. Madsen drops back. Pressure. Almost intercepted off the hands of Penry. And Jaheim Joseph just off the mark. Just a little too slow. If he was there, that could have been an interception going the other way, and he might have had a lane to the end zone from around the 40-yard line. Just a high ball, and Jaheim Joseph was going left when he should have gone straight downhill. And those are moments in the game that they're going to remember in their sleep, especially if this game does not go their way. 3rd and 8 here. Just under 12 minutes to go. Boise State trips right. Capel's in motion. Rolls out right. Madsen fires. Incomplete. Looks like him and Marshall are not on the same page. Bates not on the same page. And a huge 3rd down stop for this Rebel defense with 11:47 to go. When you take a look at today on the 3rd down conversions, the Broncos have converted so many times. 9 and 14 on the night. And UNLV's defense has just struggled to get them off the field. But they've all season long have been so good. 8th in the nation in 3rd down conversions. Only 29% of the time teams convert. And they came up big in an opportunistic way. So the offense will come out after the punt pins UNLV at the 38. Irvin receives that one from Doyle. So this UNLV offense has to be perfect from here on out. That's what it feels like. You only have 11 minutes and 41 seconds. You're down by 14. And if you're able to score and score efficiently and quickly, that would be preferred if you're UNLV. And here we go. Pistol formation, now shotgun. Thomas at the hip on the left side of Calandria. Trips right, drops back, looking. Touched as he throws, not hit hard. Looking for Elksness, but unable to connect. Calandria lucky that ball was not jarred loose, or he was hit in a way that would have thrown up a gimme ball for this defense. The pressure there off the inside from Braxton Feely, the 2025 All-Mountain West second teamer, his second honors of that exact type this year. So now the crowd here at Albertsons Stadium getting into it. 2nd and 10. Earl motions to the right side. Calandria, shotgun formation, 7 on the play clock. Gets it off just in time. Quick screen. Tet to the right side. Just past the 40 and dropped and tackled at the 42. That's a gain of 4. So now that sets up a 3rd and 6 with just under 11.5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Not too upset at that play for the Rebels, just trying to get some chunk yardage there. It's 4-down territory. So in your mind, you still had 2 other opportunities after that 2nd down play. So now the Rebels are looking at 3rd and 6, trips left. Omire motion to the right side. Ball at the 42, 3rd and 6. Calandria drops back, looking across the middle. Caught. Omire at the 45. Past midfield, inside Boise State territory. Not going down. And steps out of bounds at the 38-yard line. And that's a huge pickup of 20 for the Rebels. It's just a beautiful play there. Getting the motion, getting to see, are they in man, are they in zone? And Omire able to streak across the middle on that crossing route. In man-to-man, it's going to be hard to cover him there. And he's able to pick up the 1st down. 1st and 10 at the Boise 40. Calandra drops back. Check down. Thomas open. Tries to get the corner. Bo is able to tackle him at the 30. But after a first down from Jet Thomas, a catch run of 10, Bowen Phelps with the tackle there. Able to wrap up Thomas and not allow him to get more yards on the play. Great job there from the outside receiver, able to come in and cut off Bo in his tracks to allow Thomas to get more yards. It just created a slight hesitation and a slight moment to think. So now it sets up 1st and 10. Ball at the Boise 30. Rebels trail by 14, looking to make it a one-score game here on this drive. McGee in motion. Handoff to McGee. Spinning. Breaks the tackle, but will be hit in the backfield for a loss. That's Bowen Phelps again. And this time it's a tackle for a loss. And that's his 3rd of the season right there for tackle for loss. And it's a loss of 3, now bringing up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 13, 9:15 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the left. Thomas at Calandria's right hip. 5 on the play clock. Thomas motion to the left flat. Calandria pressure, spins out, but he's sacked. No Triani, a big 2nd down sack there. Calandria dropped at the 45, so a 12-yard loss. And so it's 3rd and forever. The Rebels are backed up all the way to Pocatello. Not the situation you want to be in for this offense. Corey Dennis and Dan Mullen are going to try to scheme something up just to get some chunk yardage back. It's desperation time. You're down 14, 8.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. 4 receivers to the left side. Shotgun formation for Calandria. 4 on the play clock. He has to get it off. Does so. Handoff Thomas. Not a lot of people there. Runs, trying to break free, but tackled for a loss of 2 at the 47. And Rebel Nation is just holding on to their heads right now. The idea of trying to catch this defense off guard. But this defensive line has been smothering Thomas at the line of scrimmage, and they do so once again in a crucial moment. And in 4th and 27, Cam Brown and the punting unit will come onto the field. This is just one of those moments in the game that you wish you could go back to those negative plays and just get those back. And whistles blow, and it's going to be a false start penalty. And so the reality potentially is creeping into this UNLV squad. And Boise State fans are still not celebrating yet. It's not over till all the clock hits 0. Just a disappointing effort here for the Rebels down the stretch. In key moments, they've needed to come big. They've done so all season long. And for this game to amount to this, feels like they just failed on themselves and disappointed what they could have done as they only trailed by 7 entering into the 4th quarter. Sherrod spinning, breaking tackles, flag thrown at the 25. A decent return there from the return man, Sherrod, near the 28-yard line. But this one's probably going to come back on the return team. Awaiting the penalty flag here on the field. 7:18 remains, and the Broncos lead 35-21. This UNLV defense was able to get a stop last time, but this offense just inconsistent all season long, especially in the first half. Even though they went 6-0, a lot of moments of just holding on to your breath and roller coaster of emotions. So a holding penalty will bring back the Broncos. And so we will step aside here. More action on the other side. 7:18 to go here in the 4th quarter to crown the Mountain West champion. Welcome back to the Mountain West Championship game here at Albertsons Stadium inside the broadcast booth. Wyatt Touchet scores 35-21. The Broncos lead with just 7:18 remaining here in the fourth quarter. They can taste it, they can smell it, and they can see a victory on the horizon for an opportunity to three-peat for the first time in the Mountain West. This offense will be coming out here momentarily, being led by Maddox Madsen, who all season long was helping this team thrive this last season, bringing this team to the college football playoffs, ranked 8th to end the season. Obviously, they had Ashton Genty, who is just video game-like numbers, unreal play. But Maddox Madsen is not a guy to sleep on. He is a great quarterback, and he has shown his greatness here tonight. 16 of 29, 272 yards through the air, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown as well. That was a 10-yarder earlier in the game. So 4 total touchdowns for Madsen. So he takes the field here. Ball at their own 16 after a holding penalty on the punt return. Handoff up the middle and into a crowd of offensive and defensive linemen. The pile stops at the 17. And that's a gain of 1 for Boise State and Dylan Riley. It almost feels like this game is over for the Rebels, and you can feel the despair on the sideline from the offensive unit just sitting on the bench. But there's still time on the clock. They have 1 timeout. They had to burn 2 of them in the third quarter. And so Boise State steps the line quickly under center, handoff up the middle, breaks the tackle, and is officially brought down at the 20. After a gain of 3, so now sets up 3rd and 5 for the Broncos. The Rebels defense has been able to slow down this offense in the last quarter and a half. Boise State scored 28 points in the first 2 quarters and have only put up 7 here in the first 20 minutes of the second half. So the offense just needs to respond if they get an opportunity to respond on the other side. Awaiting a 3rd down here, 3rd and 5, less than 6 minutes to go. Madsen drops back looking, going for that corner. Caught by Caples at the 37, and a huge conversion there. Jake Pope Jr. with the tackle and in coverage, and the sticks continue to move for the Broncos. And if the Rebels were to have a last-ditch effort, it would have been a stop on 3rd down there. And now it feels like the culmination of this season and this game is coming down to an end. And an end, it will be quick. 5:25 here in the fourth quarter. Madsen under center. Sherrod in the backfield. The jet sweep to the left side. That's Brown on the edge. Gets the angle. Picks up the first down near midfield. And is tackled after a gain of about 11. And a penalty flag on the far sideline. Just a great scheme and play there, play call. Paldro from behind, able to wrap him up. But it looks like it's going to be a holding call on the edge on Caples, trying to block. And they call unnecessary roughness on the defense on LaTerrence Welsh. So it's not going to be against the offense. And so that's another 15 yards tack onto this drive. And that's the icing on the cake, it looks like, for this Rebel defense and this program here tonight. Almost eerie. Similar to the Buffalo Bills dynasty and great teams of the 90s, going to 4 straight Super Bowls, not coming home with any of them. This is the Rebels' 3rd straight Mountain West title. And they are not looking like they're going to come home with a trophy. Sherrod to the outside left and brought down by Welsh as he's talking to him after the run. And a gain of 2 brought down at the 34. I've never understood that. I've never understood talking and trash talking near the end of the game. You're down by 14, less than 5 minutes to go. It's a championship game, and you're in Old Boy's ear. Let your play do the talking. We saw some similar actions made last week against Nevada, where the Wolfpack defensive linemen were doing the same thing against Jalen Glover. And this time the Rebels are doing the same here tonight. Handoff up the middle. Riley trying to get anywhere, stumbling and falls forward for maybe a gain of 1 at the 33. But that'll set up 3rd and medium here for the Broncos inside UNLV territory at the 32. And just continuing here, hearing in the far distance is the UNLV band still trying to uplift this Rebel team that just feels defeated. They trailed as much as 21, and coming into the fourth quarter, they only trailed by 7. They allowed 1 touchdown. Matson going far sideline through the hands of his receiver, Marshall, unable to come down with it, and so it'll be 4th down here. And so the punting unit will come out, the kicking unit, Colton Boomer attempting what looks a 51-yard field goal here. So a 50-yard field goal attempt. His career high is 55. His season high is 50. And he is a perfect 1 of 1 from 50-plus yards. Looking to knock this one in. Kick is up, has the distance, and it's through. Colton Boomer ties his season high of 50 yards here in the championship game, and they take a 3-score lead over UNLV, 38-21. 3:15 remains. We're going to step aside briefly for a quick timeout here on Rebel Sports Net. Welcome back to Albertsons Stadium here in Boise, Idaho. The Broncos, by the leg of Colton Boomer, nails a 50-yard field goal, tying the season high. His career high is 55, and it gives them a 3-score lead, 38-21. 3:15 remains here. Bradley will return it from the 3-yard line, goes to the right, cuts back inside, has a lane, and is brought down at the 39 after a return of 34 yards. Taking a look at the head-to-head matchup over the last 4 matchups. This is the 5th one in just 25 months. Boise State has dominated the Rebels, scoring on average 37.5 points, and they cover that here, 38. And the Rebels only able to put up 19 on average in the last 4 matchups, and they have 21 here tonight. It just has not gone UNLV's way. It's just one of those things when you take a look at, say combat sports, for example, they talk about, MMA math. This guy beats this guy, so this guy must beat this guy. It is not the same way. We see that here for the Rebels. They have just had UNLV's number all this way. A negative loss there. Calanger trying to escape to the outside, and will just run to the 27-28, the 32-33-yard line for a loss of 4. And so it'll be 2nd and 15, so a loss of 5 officially. Less than 3 minutes to go. Clock will continue to tick. And so just a defeated nature here for the Rebels. And both teams are on par around yards per game. Boise State averages in the last 463. UNLV 366. Quick dump off here to Lions, fighting for those yards. Gets it back to the 39. UNLV with 369 on the day so far, and Boise State 449. So they're right on target towards the average of what these last 4 matchups have really looked like. Irby shaken up, and Irby squatting down, able to get off, but they called a injury timeout, and he's in disbelief, and so he's going to have to step off for just 1 play. it just goes to show the level of competitive nature that this kid has, wanting to stay in this game. They're up by 17 points, and he does not want to step off this field whatsoever. 38-21. And the 2-minute timeout will take place. Before that play, Calandria stopped on third down. He takes a nasty spill, slow to get up. But that play won't count because the 2-minute timeout took place before the snap. So we will step aside for the final 2 minutes here from Albertsons Stadium. And it's looking like the Broncos of Boise State will be champions for the third consecutive year here on Rebel Sports Net. Thanks for sticking with us here on Rebel Sports Net, live from Albertsons Stadium. Wyatt Touchet here in the broadcast booth. Broncos with a commanding 38-21 lead, fresh out the 2-minute timeout. So we'll take a look at the upcoming Rebel Sports Net broadcast schedule. Coming up next week on Saturday, 6:30, tip-off against Tennessee State. The Running Rebels play at the Lee's Family Forum. Myself and Donovan Hicks will be in Henderson, Nevada for that game. And then a doubleheader on December 20th. The Lady Rebels will kick off that day, 1 p.m. versus New Mexico. Whitaker Lummis and I. And then finally, to end that day off and cap it off, 4 p.m. tip-off for the Running Rebels. First game in conference play against Fresno State at the Thomas & Mack with Jeremiah Skillman. And here on 3rd and 9, throws, caught, Reynolds fighting for extra yards, picks up the first down at the 47. So an exciting upcoming schedule for some basketball action here in holiday season. One of the best times of the year for basketball. Those are the 3 upcoming games down the stretch near Christmas time. The Rebels' next game will be a bowl game. They are bowl eligible for the 3rd consecutive year. Kavon Lee catches that one in the flat. Running, picks up a big chunk there near a first down. We'll see where the referees mark it. But going back to the football schedule, they do have one more game in this season. They're bowl eligible for the 3rd time in 3 consecutive seasons. That's the first ever in program history. And potentially could be looking at the Potato Bowl back here in Idaho So it'll be a quick trip right back into the Potato State. So now it's 2nd and 2. 90 seconds remain here in the ballgame. Calandria going to look to escape the pocket. Does so. Connects. That's Jaden Bradley at the 33-yard line. That's a first down. And the Sticks continue to move. Clock stops at 1:27. They trail by 17. So trips right. Shotgun formation here. Calandria seeing pressure. 5 come at him. Near sideline. Short. Intended for Omire. And in coverage there for Boise State, shaken up there is Irby. Good coverage there, just sticky seatbelt coverage on his hip. Nowhere to go with that ball, so 1 minute and 16 seconds remain until a champion will have been crowned. And it's going to be the Boise State Broncos. And taking a look at the stats, a clear runaway MVP in Maddox Madsen. 2nd and 10 here, 1:16 to go from Boise, Idaho here at Albertsons Stadium. Calandria option play, flicks it out. Kavon Lee cuts back inside, breaks the tackle, cuts back again. Able to make something out of nothing, still going, and is brought down at the 25. A gain of 9 there, and he'll set up 3rd and short. And a timeout has been called by UNLV. I respect not going down and quitting on yourself. But this team is down by 17. I'll just point out the facts that are in front of us. 65 seconds remain. And the Rebels call their 3rd and final timeout. Going to step side here for 30 seconds here on Rebel Sports Net. Thanks for sticking with us here on Rebel Sports Net. Wyatt Touchet here live at Albertsons Stadium. Boise State leads 38-21, 1:05 remaining. UNLV fresh off their 3rd and final timeout. Nick Elksness in motion. Calandria going to keep it, trying to pick up the first down. Tackled for a loss. And wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Jaden Mickey is there, the redshirt junior transfer from Notre Dame. And the clock will continue to tick. 45 seconds and counting. It's 4th down here for the Rebels. They trail by 17. It's the last-ditch effort. Trips left, shotgun formation. 15 on the play clock. Calandria making some pre-snap audibles. Drops back, looking to his left. Fires across the middle, too high. And Boise State will take over. And this offense, in the perfect culmination of the last 3 seasons, will be able to go into victory formation on their home turf. So the offense trotting out for the final time. 38-21, 24 seconds remain. Waiting for the whistle. And now the Broncos stepping to the line of scrimmage for the final time. And the victory formation kneel. The three-peat has been completed. The first time in Mountain West history, the Broncos of Boise State are 3-time champions in 3 consecutive seasons. This makes Spencer Danielson the only Boise State head coach to win 3 conference titles in his first 3 seasons. What a spectacular display by this program in the last 3 years, taking down the Rebels for the 3rd straight time. You take a look at this program, they're just made of champions. This is their 37th conference championship victory all time. And it's built on this blue turf and this blue-collar community that is celebrating this team who knows nothing but championships. The fans stormed the field in excitement and awe of greatness of this Boise State program. It started just 2 years ago in 2023. Ashton Genty and company took over Allegiant Stadium, won their first title of this first of three, then came back here last year, dominated the Rebels 21-7, and tonight the cherry on top, 38 points on the night, only allowing UNLV, who is the best offense in the Mountain West, scoring over 30 points a game, holding them to 21. And it has not been officially stated yet, but it is more than likely, looking at the stats and watching the play here tonight, the MVP of the 2025 Mountain West Championship is going to go to Maddox Matson. 17 of 31, 289 yards through the air, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown as well. 4 total for the kid. Reigning all the way from Lehigh, Utah. What a special night for Broncos Nation here at home in Boise, Idaho. They take home their 3rd consecutive Mountain West title, their 6th Mountain West title all time, and a perfect way to exit the conference. And with that being said, a special thank you to Program Director Kevin E. Martin for getting this show on air all season long and providing opportunities for students like myself, Johnny Graves, and the whole crew. We are very, very thankful to be able to do things like this, be able to travel on the road, be able to call games for Rebel Nation. It has been an honor this season to call the football team. They end 10-3 before going to a bowl game. We don't know which one yet, but as of now, for the final time this season, signing off from Albertsons Stadium, from all of us here at Rebel Sports Net, Wyatt, Touchet, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good one. See you later, folks.